Hello and welcome to the Blade and Soul North American.
You've been playing and practicing and you've done all this before.
Once you're sitting there, just zone in on the game, spar against all the great Blade and Soul players.
Really an awesome experience. Seeing how we stack up against these people we've been watching for almost 2 years.
Guardian will pick up the win.
We all try to help each other improve, help our friends improve.
There's a lot of talent that aren't motivated to compete in tournaments. Can definitely be competition going forward.
For people coming in, I think it's just a matter of working on what they can do and improve that, but also capitalize on what they can do so that they can succeed.
See the disappointment on Zach's face right there.
Team synergy is the biggest element. Good team comp.
Find teammates and practice a lot.
And he's going for gold this year. Be a part of it.
To those of you who are active in the PvP scene now, to those of you who this is the first time playing, one day you may see yourself up on this stage, competing to represent territories around the world.
It was kind of a dream to play esports.
Hello and welcome to the Blade and Soul Europe.
I wanted to compete in Korea. That was like my goal, in top of EU. And then I achieved that, and it was really exciting to be there.
To be honest, we didn't expect to win regionals. We were like, yo, we can actually do this.
That's what I mean, 10 out of being 10.
And it motivated us, and we like kept going, and we wanted to prove that we can stand our ground against people, right?
I just told myself I will be there one day.
Looking up to good players in EU, I got better myself, got into the community and helped each other out, improved over time.
You learn more from a loss than from a win. Play to improve, not to win.
Get good, make a team, and have a great time with us.
It's a great experience.
To every player that has come this far, I have seen your commitment. I have seen your sacrifices. All of this. This is for you.
out amidst all that. Poan now. With the time of the World Championships fast approaching, the best Blade and Soul players in North America took their shot at a chance to represent the region at Korea. In the first of 2 preliminary qualifiers, only 2 teams would advance, and from the very first game, Team Happy stated their intentions.
For this Soul Fighter, will that HP buff keep him protected? But no, the damage is so strong!
You could see that players were starting off shaky, with former representatives Guardian knocked out in round 1 in surprising fashion. 2 games later, Bag T and Whose Mans Is This showed us just how important it is to time your assists, with Twizzy being taken down while trying to assist Dark. The Blitz now gets a wedge off, but in comes the assist. Oxtra just calls the boys because he needed it, but so did Dark. So did Dark, and it looks as though Twizzy's been taken out amidst all that. Poan now is the one who comes in for the side of Bag T. It's 3v2. While that was going on, Hank, he was taken down. In goes Ji-Young Park. That's Frozone, who's just stuck in the air at the moment. Poan doing his best circus impression, juggling him up in the air. Not only was there wonderful esports on display, the games were always entertaining in one way or another. In this Summoner Mirror match, both Oxtra and Plubel proved that great minds think alike, timing their sleeps at exactly the same time, sending everyone in the chat and the casters into hysterics.
Assuming the roots aren't actually gonna do all the work, am I right, Oxtra? And we see the sleeping done on both sides, so as I said, summoners, man, they can heal like crazy. What makes it even better is when your opponent's summoner heals you.
In the next game, there was more than a game on the line. There was pride. De Beers sees that Akito has used his escapes and pulls the trigger on a massive engage, taking the round and the title of the better assassin. It's another bombard into the close shade. This time it's Akito. De Beers just needs to be wary of that one. Throws out the poison breath. Will actually collect Akito here. Just get a little bit of that dot damage going. There's the fire mine we were talking about. And goes back in and starts dealing some damage. Close shade for good measure. Now into the stealth. Back out. So much damage. The bombard goes in into the aerial. And now Akito gets swept. He is in trouble. The Lotus is up barely. Finally, it comes back up at the Bears. In the winners bracket grand final, Happy were looking to continue their dominant streak and secure a spot at the land finals. There was fantastic sportsmanship shown by Poan, letting Zack summon his cat, but his kindness proved to be his undoing as the summoner's sustained power was way too much for the gunner in the end.
Dies, it seems. And Zack seems he cannot win from here. So much for all that talk. The escape gets used, the root is there, but you have to have the chance to summon your cat right there. Poe is just standing.
Oh, you said Poan, that's where he struggles sometimes, as he stays way too long up in the air, but I've got to say, I want to give a big sportsmanship pat on the back to Poan, who's now probably going to lose this game, and is going to. These games had everything, even deja vu. The impossible happened as 2 summoners managed to CC each other at exactly the same time again. Now pounds left. Oxtra still has retreat. There's just so much going on screen at the moment. Zack, he needs to round this game out, and it looks like both the pouncers at exactly the same time again! What is happening? In the final game of the day, Bag T had their second chance of the day to qualify, but Guardian stood in their way. After finding their footing after an early elimination and a shaky start, they progressed through to the land finals in the UK. The alcohol coming through Aikini. There we go, actually catching him out with the Frost Palm combo now going in. In comes, looks like Yasuni. Congratulations to both Happy and Guardian on their success in Week 1 of the Blade and Soul World Championship North American qualifiers. With the time of the World Championships fast approaching, the best Blade and Soul players in North America took their shot at a chance to represent the region at Korea. In the first of 2 preliminary qualifiers, only 2 teams would advance, and from the very first game, Team Happy stated their intentions.
For this Soul Fighter, will that HP buff keep him protected? But no, the damage is so strong!
You could see that players were starting off shaky, with former representatives Guardian knocked out in round 1 in surprising fashion. 2 games later, Bag T and Whose Mans Is This showed us just how important it is to time your assists, with Twizzy being taken down while trying to assist Dark. The Blitz now gets a wedge off, but in comes the assist. Oxtra just calls the boys because he needed it, but so did Dark. So did Dark, and it looks as though Twizzy's been taken out amidst all that. Poar now is the one who comes in for the side of Bag T. It's 3v2. While that was going on, Hank, he was taken down. In goes Ji-Young Park. That's Frozone, who's just stuck in the air at the moment. Poan doing his best circus impression, juggling him up in the air. Not only was there wonderful esports on display, the games were always entertaining in one way or another. In this Summoner Mirror match, both Oxtra and Plubel proved that great minds think alike, timing their sleeps at exactly the same time, sending everyone in the chat and the casters into hysterics.
Assuming the roots aren't actually going to do all the work, am I right, Oxtra? And we see the sleeping done on both sides, so as I said, summoners, man, they can heal like crazy. What makes it even better is when your opponent's summoner heals you.
In the next game, there was more than a game on the line. There was pride. De Beers sees that Akito has used his escapes and pulls the trigger on a massive engage, taking the round and the title of the better assassin. It's another bombard into the close shade. This time it's Akito. De Beers just needs to be wary of that one. Throws out the poison breath. Will actually collect Akito here. Just get a little bit of that dot damage going. There's the fire mine we were talking about, and goes back in and starts dealing some damage. Close shade for good measure. Now into the stealth, back out. So much damage. The bombard goes into the aerial, and now Akito gets swept. He is in trouble. The Lotus is up barely. Finally, it comes back up at the Bears. In the winners bracket grand final, Happy were looking to continue their dominant streak and secure a spot at the land finals. There was fantastic sportsmanship shown by Poan, letting Zack summon his cat, but his kindness proved to be his undoing, as the summoner's sustained power was way too much for the gunner in the end.
Dies, it seems, and Zack seems he cannot win from here. So much for all that talk. The escape gets used, the root is there, but you have to have the chance to summon your cat right there. Poe is just standing.
Oh, you said Poan, that's where he struggles sometimes, as he stays way too long up in the air, but I've got to say, I want to give a big sportsmanship pat on the back to Poan, who's now probably going to lose this game. These games had everything, even deja vu. The impossible happened as 2 summoners managed to CC each other at exactly the same time again. Now pounds left. Oxtra still has retreat. There's just so much going on screen at the moment. Zack, he needs to round this game out, and it looks like both the pouncers at exactly the same time again! What is happening? In the final game of the day, Bag T had their second chance of the day to qualify, but Guardian stood in their way. After finding their footing after an early elimination and a shaky start, they progressed through to the land finals in the UK. The alcohol coming through Aikini. There we go, actually catching him out with the Frost Palm combo now going in. In comes, looks like Yasuni. Congratulations to both Happy and Guardian on their success in Week 1 of the Blade and Soul World Championship North American qualifiers. Make sure With the time of the World Championships fast approaching, the best Blade and Soul players in North America took their shot at a chance to represent the region at Korea. In the first of two preliminary qualifiers, only 2 teams would advance, and from the very first game, Team Happy stated their intentions.
For this Soul Fighter, will that HP buff keep him protected? But no, the damage is so strong!
You could see that players were starting off shaky, with former representatives Guardian knocked out in round 1 in surprising fashion. 2 games later, Bag T and Whose Mans Is This showed us just how important it is to time your assists, with Twizzy being taken down while trying to assist Dark. The Blitz now gets a wedge off, but in comes the assist. Oxtra just calls the boys because he needed it, but so did Dark. So did Dark, and it looks as though Twizzy's been taken out amidst all that. Poar now is the one who comes in for the side of Bag T. It's 3v2. While that was going on, Hank, he was taken down. In goes Ji-Young Park. That's Frozone, who's just stuck in the air at the moment. Poan doing his best circus impression, juggling him up in the air. Not only was there wonderful esports on display, the games were always entertaining in one way or another. In this Summoner Mirror match, both Oxtra and Plubel proved that great minds think alike, timing their sleeps at exactly the same time, sending everyone in the chat and the casters into hysterics.
Assuming the roots aren't actually going to do all the work, am I right, Oxtra? And we see the sleeping done on both sides, so as I said, summoners, man, they can heal like crazy. What makes it even better is when your opponent's summoner heals you.
In the next game, there was more than a game on the line. There was pride. De Beers sees that Akito has used his escapes and pulls the trigger on a massive engage, taking the round and the title of the better assassin. It's another bombard into the close shade. This time it's Akito. De Beers just is wary of that one. Throws out the poison breath. Will actually collect Akito here. Just get a little bit of that dot damage going. There's the fire mine we were talking about. And goes back in and starts dealing some damage. Close shade for good measure. Now into the stealth. Back out. So much damage. The bombard goes in into the aerial. And now Akito gets swept. He is in trouble. The Lotus is up barely. Finally, it comes back up at De Beers. In the winners bracket grand final, Happy were looking to continue their dominant streak and secure a spot at the LAN finals. There was fantastic sportsmanship shown by Poan, letting Zack summon his cat, but his kindness proved to be his undoing as the summoner's sustained power was way too much for the gunner in the end.
Guys, it seems, and Zack seems he cannot win from here. So much for all that talk. The escape gets used, the root is there, but you have to have the chance to summon your cat right there. Poe is just standing.
Oh, you said Poan, that's where he struggles sometimes, as he stays way too long up in the air, but I've got to say, I want to give a big sportsmanship pat on the back to Poan, who's now probably going to lose this game. It is going to. These games had everything, even deja vu. The impossible happened as 2 summoners managed to CC each other at exactly the same time again. Now pounds left. Oxtra still has retreat. There's just so much going on screen at the moment. Zack, he needs to round this game out, and looks like both the pouncers at exactly the same time again! What is happening? In the final game of the day, Bag T had their second chance of the day to qualify, but Guardian stood in their way. After finding their footing after an early elimination and a shaky start, they progressed through to the LAN finals in the UK. The alcohol coming through Aikini, there we go, actually catching him out with the Frost Palm combo now going in. In comes, looks like Yasuni. Congratulations to both Happy and Guardian on their success in Week 1 of the Blade and Soul World Championship North American qualifiers.
Hello and welcome to the Blade and Soul North American.
You've been playing and practicing and you've done all this before.
Once you're sitting there, just zone in on the game, spar against all the great Blade and Soul players.
Really awesome experience. Seeing how we stack up against these people we've been watching for almost 2 years.
Guardian will pick up the win.
We all try to help each other improve, help our friends improve.
There's a lot of talent that aren't motivated to compete in tournaments. Can definitely be competition going forward.
For people coming in, I think it's just a matter of working on what they can do and improve that, but also capitalize on what they can do so that they can succeed.
See the disappointment on Zach's face right there.
Team synergy is the biggest element. Good team comp.
Find teammates and practice a lot.
NA's going for gold this year. Be a part of it.
To those of you who are active in the PvP scene now, to those of you who this is the first time playing, one day you may see yourself up on this stage, competing to represent territories around the world.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Blade and Soul Twitch channel for the second and final North American World Championship qualifier. My name is Kit Fox. It is an absolute pleasure to be here for yet another day of tournament action, and I am joined once again by the man, Small Fan Hank. How are you?
Hey, okay, I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to today. We have some great matches coming up. But for those of you that are new here, let's go over the kind of the scoring format today. We're going to have the best of 4. And what this means is we'll have 2 1v1s, 8 3v3s, and if we need a tiebreaker, we will go for a 4th game. The first to 3 points will win. All of our games will be these regular match 4 setups.
That's it, and because this is only the first of the first of 2 days, we will be having, as you saw on screen there, a lot of the sets of 4 today, and then later on tomorrow we will be having those 8 set games when we get to the semi-finals. As you can see there on screen already, we've got the word coming in that Frozone was unable to locate his super suit. Repeat, unable to locate his super suit, and whose mans is this have forfeited their first game, giving bags a ride through. So Hank, what the teams are playing for, not only is there a spot for the World Championship qualifiers up for grabs, there is cash money on the line for first place. Should you be successful at LAN, you will walk away with $21,500 US. Second place, a big $15K, $8,500 for third place, and then $5,000 just for turning up and playing. Hank, that's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. Just for, playing very well and playing video games again. But we do have our first match of the day. It's going to be Rampage versus Bold and Brash. And for those of you who were here last time, you're going to see kind of something interesting. You got some of the same players, but on different teams. We have Rampage on the blue side, Fower on the Sin, Sunshower the Blade Dancer, Dark Enthrall the Warlock. And on Bold and Brash, you have Kamisia, Tengshin Lien, which is probably better known as Nakuna, and KFM Jeremy.
So just want to touch on the fact that you said there are a few different teams today. Players are jumping around. You can see Sunshower there, former champion representative, fantastic dude, call it what you will, still yet to qualify. So Happy and Guardian were the 2 teams that actually made it through last week. And that contained a lot of experienced players that are definitely no stranger to representative Blade and Soul, Hank. Sunshower is one that definitely stands out to me as he does not want to miss out. Like, it would be uncommon for somebody of his skill to miss out. And I just want to touch on this. Bold and Brash rolling out with a double KFM lineup.
Yeah, definitely. This is probably a super interesting thing. On one side, you have Sunshower, a very veteran, the champion status Blade Dancer. On the other side, you have 2 KFMs. And they aren't just nobodies. People know Jeremy. People know Nakuna. And that's going to be interesting because KFM, with some various buffs, have been very strong. One of the best PvP classes. And you have to deal with 2 of them now.
You're not biased at all, are you, Hank?
Not at all.
Not at all. Not a KFM main? No.
That being said, let's get our first game of the day. It will be Fower versus Nakuna. Sin versus KFM, the age-long battle. Let's see what's going on. And we have them just kind of flaying around, using the ice to immediately put him to combat. Hits into the ice, tries to get the knockdown, but doesn't get the knockdown. He gets hit by the stun Z, and he has to use his flower. Tries to decoy, doesn't proc it, and there's the triple kick. You gotta be careful, Flower. You don't have your flower. You do have escape. He's taking some damage, that 50%, but Nakuna's playing very safe, not letting himself get hit by the stealth blind. And they're trying to disengage right here. The Gale Fists are just missing. And you have an escape used on the Z when he was trying to ice, I believe. And this would be very bad. Flower's low HP, but he still has escape. Meanwhile, the KFM has no escape here. He goes, uses the escape, but he hits into the... And there's the Gale Fish! And gets him, launches in there. And this could be it. He just needs one more CC. Opts for the knockdown. The decoy in there, and he hits him with the Z. But the resist from the decoy just kind of got him through. Smokes out. And we can see the 100-0 combo.
Here we go.
Flower.
So Fowler started that one off very, very shaky, but now, like you said, it's his turn to unload. The KFM Tang has unloaded everything, and now here comes Fowler. The 100-0 is lined up. There's no escape. Actually, there's 7% HP left, and that's all he needs to survive. 20% on the side of Fowler. The Bombard will connect, and Fowler turns it around. What a start to the first game of the day, Hank.
Yeah, definitely a lot of back and forth. I don't know which side was actually going to get close. We saw Nakuna playing super well for that first 50%. Fire dropping like crazy, but then he used his escape on a freaking landmine when he was trying to use his ice tab. Catches him again with the Gale Fist. Thought we were going to get a kill, but he just narrowly lost the timing to use his escape.
That escape is so important on the KFM. There's not much going for you after that, and, that's what happened there. I mean, Fowler survived just. There was a massive onslaught that was unloaded there by Tang. And for Fowler to see that an escape was burnt and then his eyes just lit up, he's like, let's go. This is my opportunity. And they take the point advantage. So Rampage, 1-0 so far in this, first 2-3 points. We have got that 1v1 at the end, should we need it. But Bold and Brash, they're going to be needing to pick up this round to stay relatively in contention. Remember, the 3v3s are where the big leads come out to play. But the next game that we're going to be having will be Sunshower versus Jeremy. So we're going to get the Blade Dancer going up against yet another KFM. Do you think Rampage were ready for this double KFM lineup?
I don't think many teams would be. Again, KFMs, even from previous tournaments, you rarely see them. It's usually, I think Jeremy and then Twizzy for last one, and it was like, all right, you had two separate KFMs on two other sides of the bracket. Now they're all bunched up in one team, and it's not easy. These are the top KFMs all together. This is another version of Guardian where they locked all the Warlocks. Now we've locked all the KFMs.
Here we go. They're just corralling him. There's a Noah's Ark style going on here. All the Warlocks go on one team, all the BDs go on the other, all the KFMs to another. But game number 2 between Rampage and Bold and Brash will be Sunshower going up against Jeremy, BD versus KFM. And Jeremy opens up the account and deposits a few damage points, in fact, 50% or so, onto Sunshower, who's just caught in the aerials here. There's not really much you can do about that because Jeremy is just throwing everything he has. Now, Sunshower with the wake up. That is the tab escape that has been burnt. Now it's his turn to start dishing out the hurt, and will already proc a lightning draw, and that will force Jeremy into his own tap escape.
Yeah, they both just used pretty much everything they had to do for these full combos, and now we're going to see who's going to turn up. It's actually Sunshower getting that stun, but he doesn't have any CCs left. He has the grab, but you have the emit frost from KFM. Sun's got to make sure he's not going to get caught, and he did get caught. As I say that, this could be it for him. He just needs 2 CCs if possible. Opts for the knockdown, and there's the stun for the Searing Palm, and it's over.
GG's, well done. Jeremy picks up the round. So already you can see Jeremy just showing his experience on that KFM class. Tang was unable to pick up the round, but Jeremy was. And I see you talk very highly of your man, Jeremy, every single time he comes out. Is he a protege of yours, Hank? Because he's just leveled up the series for Bold and Brash 1-1.
Complete opposite. He actually taught me KFM a while back. So I definitely know he's pretty good at this. But besides the point, did super good. And we're going to get to the interesting part, the 3v3s. Because here, you can't run double KFM.
No, so there will be the Destroyer that comes out. So honestly, you kind of want something like a Destroyer. You need that sustainability. So Tang will put his KFM back on the bench, pull the Destroyer out and give him a bit of runtime. So we're going to have the Summoner, Destroyer, KFM for Bold and Brash up against the stock standard Warlock, Blade Dancer, Sin combo for Rampage. Now, this is going to be the decider, Hank. Whoever takes this round is going to take the game. That means they'll be progressing through the winner's bracket. The loser, unfortunately, will bow down, but they still have a chance. That loser's bracket will keep them alive for now. That's their safety net, but once they land in it, it becomes frayed, it becomes fragile, and there is nothing else stopping them from falling after that, and the team will be eliminated. So they definitely want to be picking up a win here. Remember, though, because it is the first game of the day, last week what happened is that Guardian were knocked down into the loser's bracket in surprising fashion. We might even see another Cinderella story.
Quite interesting how you say a Cinderella story, because I can't even see who's the underdog in this case. You have on one side, you have Rampage with Sunshower, but Bold and Brash, you have Jeremy and Nakun. You have both sides are kind of, I don't know what's lower or higher in this case, and we'll definitely have to just let the winner determine that, won't we?
Definitely. So, like we said, the winner takes all in this 3v3. No need for the final 1v1, because once 3 points are achieved, that'll be all she wrote. You can jump on your bike and pedal through to the winner's bracket. I mean, Hank, Happy and Guardian are two very big teams. There's big names in those teams. And we were talking before, Sunshower is a glaring omission from the guys that qualified in the first week. So do you think that with him leading Team Rampage into this 3v3, that utilizing all the experience that he has had at a very high level, they'll be able to get through?
I think in terms of 3v3 experience, definitely there's a lot on Sunshower's side that he can definitely use, especially since, again, in Bold and Brash, we have never seen these three on a team together. Actually, no, I take that back. Jeremy and Kamisha were on a team before. But the point of the matter is, there's still that issue with synergy, the whole teamwork together. Kind of need someone to follow their lead. Oftentimes we see Jeremy kind of just putting himself as trying to be that all-star player, and that ends up putting a lot of weak link on the teammate side. You use too many resources, etc. So we have to see how they balance things out, and especially since there's a lot of rock paper scissors you got to deal with. You have a Warlock and a Sin, and for your KFM mains, they're gonna watch out for that. And maybe that could be where they get lower and where they're too aggressive or not aggressive enough,
The Destroyer could be the turning point here for Bold and Brash as well. Just a little bit more survivability. Rampage, they've got a pretty good lineup, but I think it's just a bit more rounded on the side of Team Rampage here. They've got the Warlock. They don't really have much going for them in terms of sustain. So on paper, I think Bold and Brash are the slight favorites here.
All right, enough about whatever we're speculating. We have Jeremy going against Fire first, against KFM and Sin, but this time, let's see if there's any difference. We see Jeremy using that as icing and immediately catches him with the Rising Dragon, misses his Galefish, gets knocked down, and we see Fire playing around that escape and then immediately gets caught by the second one. Is Fire going to use his own? He doesn't have an escape, and we see that Shadow Build Destroyer trying to get the damage. Jeremy seems to have just missed his knockdown, not quite getting it. There's that experience I was talking about. Now we see the big Warlock Summoner combo right here. They're just trying to dish as much damage because they see escapes aren't down, but now Fire's skills have been completely reset, and now it's Lacuna's turn to shine on the Destroyer.
That was a smart time distortion because Foul blew everything, including escapes there. Then in comes Darken with the Warlock to reset everything that he had. So smart play there now. 1 assist down though, but they won't be too phased about that. Good Fire Mine. Gets the knockdown now. In goes the Bombard. So that will actually call in the assist from the KFM. So just a little bit of the tit-a-tat going on here between the Warlock and the Destroyer. But there is a Tether Blade coming out. Big launch coming out from Dark Enthrall. Will send the Destroyer into orbit now. 50% HP. In goes the Saint, and the assist as well will force out our Destroyer friend Tang. And that is not a good start for Bold and Brash.
Yeah, now they're sending Jeremy out again. That kind of slight reliance I was talking about. This KFM loves to be the star of the show right here. Does this super well against Dark. It's just killing that neutral, forcing these escapes out there. And we see Sunshower trying to grip the KFM. Unfortunately, you can QE while in area, and Sunshower's tagging not too effective in this case. Darken is going to stand pretty well, and there we go. Instant launch in the air. There's the Shadow Destroyer combo. Instant obliterates Darken. And now we have Sunshower versus Jeremy right now, and this could be very bad. The escape used by Sunshower, the escape used by Jeremy, and now we both trying to alleviate things. And now the power is out, but you're on low HP. Are they trying to get the 100? Oh, unfortunately, he gets caught. Again, these rising dragons are just on the dot today.
Yeah, the KFM's definitely taking center stage, especially in, well, it is only the first game, but oh no, Sunshower! No escapes, no hope, now no HP! See you later, Bold and Brash take the game. Wow, Hank. Wow, Rampage just got absolutely deleted. Fower, what was he thinking coming back in there with so little HP? Sunshower tagged him in. Poor guy, thrown under the bus, but Bold and Brash with a 3-1 scoreline. They lose the first 1v1, but come home strong, taking the next 1v1 and then the 3v3, convincingly in the 3v3. That was a very, very quick 3v3.
Yeah, I was kind of worried at the beginning. We saw a few tag-ins and tag-outs from Bold and Brash. Like, yeah, I'm not sure about that. We saw Nakuna come in with a Fury Shadow build, and we see a few missed tag-ins, and all of a sudden, there's that big combo everyone sees. During the KFM's ground finisher, I believe it's called Falling Star, the opponent's considered grounded. All ground attacks can hit, and your opponent can't do anything. Shadow Destroyer comes in, Fury, execute, deleted. And that's just that big combo that just couldn't come. But next we have Cheeseless versus Karma coming up next.
I mean, Cheeseless... Yeah. I'm just having a look at the lineup here. Sorry. Cheeseless, they've got the Blademaster, KFM, and the Sin. But you've got the Blademaster who can also double as the Gunner. So... do you think they'll roll with the Gunner or the Blademaster? We saw a fantastic Blademaster last week.
I think the usual idea is if you have a second listed class, that second class is usually, you know, what you're opting for your 3v3s, except for Aikini, who put Soul Fighter on but played Gunner. But besides that, you know, and Kate Baldy, though, that's kind of the big thing. We've seen him. He's a phenomenal Blademaster. He's always played Blademaster. Maybe this Gunner is that secret weapon they're looking for, because they probably will need it, because Karma, we've seen them last time. They are not a joke. They have this amazing ability to just deal with so much damage. You have the Blade Dancer, Force Master, and Summoner comp, the Heal comp, the triple iframe comp. Sustain does not work on them. You have to burst them down.
Do you think that... I was going to say, do you think that we'll see some more comic errors, like... not errors, but comical gameplay, like summoners sleeping each other today? Or maybe we might see, I don't know, Kate Baldy just hang up in the air for way too long and get a bomb kill? Who knows? I mean, it's all about the surprise factor, which these guys were able to pull out here. But Kate Baldy, my eyes are on him with that Gunner. In the 3v3s, Hank... What would you rather? Would you rather your team have the Blademaster or the Gunner for that damage?
See, this is the very scary thing. As we can see in Cheeseless's comp, they also have a KFM and Sin. So that means they only have one total party iframe. If you want to play defensive, you would pick the Blademaster. If you want to be offensive, you want to pick the Gunner. And I suppose the big question is, do you want to play more like Guardian or do you want to play more like Happy? Guardian opting for that, you know, Gunner Warlock comp, bam, damage. Or Happy, where they have, you know, Sin Destroyer comp, able to sustain and defend themselves. It's a very, very big thing. We do have up ahead, for the first time, I believe, ever in even last preliminaries, we have KFM Altera versus FM Shibahira. I don't think we've seen Shibahira in a single 1v1, so I think this would actually be our first NA Force Master in a 1v1.
Could be. Could very well be. I'm not 100% sure. I know I've seen Shibahira before. It's definitely... I think it's the first in this comp. We didn't see it... Yeah, okay. We didn't see it last week. We didn't see a Force Master 1v1 last week. So Shibahira's got a lot to play for here. We saw a Soul Fighter 1v1.
Yeah.
Not a Force Master. So that... Yeah, okay. There we go. So let's see what Shiba can do. He is going up against... class of the month at the moment, Kung Fu Master in Altair. But let's get it on. It's Cheeseless versus Karma. It's game number 2 so far in this second qualifier here for the North America region. Remember, the top 2 from today will be joining Happy and Guardian as Shibahira takes stage against Altair.
And we see that Catch immediately out of the ice with his Frost Whirl. But, you know, the KFM just kind of tracked things down, not wasting his escapes. There's that Rising Dragon right there. Force Master is going to be caught in a pretty large combo right here. Gets stunned from the Searing Palm. Seaver's probably going to have to opt for his other escape. And we've seen he uses both escapes already. Uses the Frost Prison, and there we go. The escape used by KFM. Now, here's the scare point. The FM can win this, but he's got to watch his cooldowns. You know, the KFM used both of his escape, both Grip and Tab escape. What is he going to be able to do right here? Should be here. He needs to stall out for this goal. He needs to just, the moment his Glacial Beam is up, he should be able to get the chance. Unless he gets caught out like this, but he narrowly escapes right there. And the KFM and FM are just dancing around. It's really hard for approach for both sides. The Rising Dragon with the Glacial Beam hitting into the EI frame. It should be Altair's turn. We see the grapple, actually.
Wow.
Trying to stall for time. His escape up is soon. It's hit by the KD, 2 KDs. And the escape gets used. No tech chase actually on Shibahira's side. It's probably a very dangerous situation for him.
That's big. They're using that tab escape now. Shibahira doesn't really have much left as Altair just continues to unload here. Just with this ground game, now he'll go for a little bit of aerial action, but Shibahira now is just forced to sit back and take this. He's got absolutely nothing at all. And good night to your HP, Altair. Woo! Big game in the end there. So Shibahira, just like you said, Hank, didn't manage his cooldowns, gets picked up and just cleaned in the end. 100% HP KFM had, and poor Shibahira just with no escapes, no hope, no chance.
Yeah, the Forest Master class only having 2 real CCs that Glacial Beam stun, or I don't know if they changed the name, and the Dragon Whirl, so he had to really maintain it. And we see Altair, if people here from a while ago, he's actually better known as Dory, KFM Dory, but Altair, he just always rolls really late. He always makes something like, all right, am I going to roll or am I just going to sit here? And that just kind of put so much pressure on Shibahira. He wasn't really able to follow it right there.
So the next game that we'll be having on screen is Caped Baldy versus Plubel. And it looks like Caped Baldy's going to be using the Blade Master class as opposed to the Gunner against Summoner Plubel. Hank, what do you make of that? What would you, say you're Plubel, what would you rather go up against class-wise?
I think we have, I think that's kind of the better matchup, I want to say, for Caped Baldy's side. We've seen that Summoners is actually, that's quite fairly well against Gunner. We've seen, you know, previously we had Zac versus Polaron, and it's like that healer, that sustain, pretty hard. But we have right here already Caped Baldy trying to go in. It's kind of hard to approach right now, but they do that deflect right now. Gets guard broken, but the cat doesn't quite get him. And Caped Baldy just going in with the Dragon Tongue.
Wow.
Gets caught by the back, and he has no defense skill. And we see that launch off of the 5-point strike into the launch. And here's the Moon block being used. He needs to wait out this Dandelion right there. Shoulder charge just misses, but here's the Dragon Tongue again. Plubel has no more escape. He's low on HP, which is very bad. And you see the Z into the Sundering Sword Flash Step.
Big play there by Caped Baldy. Plubel just got pantsed there. Like, he made Plubel look like an absolute novice, and that is not Plubel at all. He is a fantastic summoner, but Cheeseless with the Blade Master game, just taking it to the ground and going absolutely ham. Get the second win. It's now 2 points in favor of Cheeseless, and if they take this 3v3 coming up, Hank, they'll be going through to the winners bracket. Karma, they need something, and they need it now.
Yeah, definitely not a good way to start. Karma, you guys were here last time. It's your second chance already, you know. And then you're going to use up your second chance going to loser bracket. But we're expecting a great 3v3. Because, again, this is where Karma shines. Their anti-sustain build, we'll call it that. The ability to heal. 3 classes that can heal. 3 classes that can party for iframe. And 3 classes that can dish out their own version sustain. Versus Cheeseless. Haven't really seen this comp before. You have Genie on the Sin. Altair, aka Dory on the KFM, and we hear officially it will be Caped Baldy on the Blade Master.
Yeah, the Blade Master. So he's not actually going to use his Gunner at all. Even in the final 1v1, he wasn't going to take the stage. So Gunner, is still in the back pocket for now. We haven't seen one all day, but I do believe Poharan is waiting in the next round, Hank. So one of the, if not the best gunner going around NA at the moment. So keep your eyes on that one. But it's all about this 3v3. Cheeseless versus Karma. I mean, I liked his Blade Master. His BM in the game, he just went up against Plubel. Like I said, Plubel was made to look like an absolute noob. And that's saying something, given his current stature.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you see, there's a lot of kind of underestimating of Blade Masters in both NA and EU regions. We saw Zay, though, he shown how powerful it is, and now it's Kate Baldy's turn on this side. So we're gonna definitely see a very kind of, you know, there's a lot of pressure. You're playing the kind of the underdog class, I would say, this time. So definitely, I'm looking forward to this 3v3 coming up.
Like you said, on Karma's side, lots of sustains, lots of self-heals, lots of damage, lots of iframes. One would call it the perfect 3v3 lineup, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, so we'll, I mean, again, the only issue, the burst, you know, that big Wumbo combo, that's something we have to watch out for. The Summoner kind of has one if he runs the Rumble Beast. Force Master, if he really wants to run multi-blaze. Blade Dancer, not so much. So we kind of see the issue here. Like, there's that big damage that you need to dish out in a very short time, and that's kind of the problem with their build, you know, very reliant on aerials.
And Cheeseless, they've definitely got what it takes to do that. They're currently 2 rounds up in this game. They need to take this 3v3 to win. Karma need it to stay alive. Let's go. It's the second game of the second and final North American preliminary qualifier for the World Championships in Korea. And already you can see on screen, it's Ninart on the Blade Dancer, just taking it to Altair, who's had a very good game, in the previous rounds, and now already finds himself on the back foot with half his HP gone.
Yeah, Ninart playing super well with these strays. This ground game, he's opting to get him so well, and now they have to use their very first escape. It seems Genie's actually not on Sin, but Destroyer playing the defensive comp right here. This might actually be better for them, but now it's Ninart's turn to be taking some damage, opting to use his escape, but you see Altair does not have his escape up just yet, so we got to see what he's going to be able to do. Ninart's up in the air. The Force Master whips the grip. This is what I'm talking about. You can't tag it on this KFM. And we see he actually gets frozen. Very nice Frost Burst on that side, but now the KFM has his escape up, and Ninart, you know, heals a decent chunk. We're talking about that healing ability of this entire comp. Will he be able to play the neutral enough? There he goes, another bit of healing. And Ninart's actually back to almost full HP, but can he catch Altair? No, he gets caught out himself. His escape is on very little amount of...
Steering Palm! Steering Palm coming across there. Ninart was very lucky. Actually had to call in Plubel to lend an assist, but in comes the assist on the side of Cheeseless. 13 seconds until Altair has to tag out, but he is not going anywhere. He has got the likes of Karma in his sights. Ninart, though, has to tag in Shibahira because he was taking way too much damage, and the clock will do its thing and run our KFM friend out and send him back to the locker room, and bringing in the Blade Master of the day, Kate Baldy. Shibahira really needs to make a statement here. He needs to play not only for his team, but for Force Masters everywhere. And already he's used the escape. And here goes the damage.
Yeah, immediately deleted.
Wow, okay, that was
with that Force Master wall bang right there. You don't see that too often, but it's still incredibly powerful. Not much that, you know, Altair could have done. And now, you know, Cheeseless starting out so well is actually in a horrible situation, I want to say. They have only 2 people alive. Meanwhile, again, you're going against the healing comp. We see that Destroyer execute, but unfortunately, that's a Blade Master, not a KFM. You can't get the full execute shadow combo right there. And here's the problem right here. Cheeseless, you're on the back, but you deleted.
I don't know what has just happened to Cheeseless. It all started when their KFM decided to come in for the assist, and then Shibahira and Plubel just went absolutely ballistic, took them out, and then you're 1 man down. And I think that our Destroyer friend here is just going to have to sit back and just let the inevitable happen and let Karma take the win, because there's 7 minutes to go, and we've had another lightning fast 3v3 here, Hank, and Karma, very surprisingly, have taken it with a massive cheeky kill.
Yeah, it's definitely, again, the big thing. And here's the style point with the ult right
Oh, nice. Oh, always good to see that one land from the Force Master, but well done to Karma. They've actually pulled it back here. They keep their hopes alive. It's now 2-2, Hank. We're going to be going to that final 1v1. And who's it going to be? It's going to be Altair going up against 9art. So KFM against Blade Dancer. This is going to be good. This is going to be so good.
Definitely, again, not the first time we've seen it today, but it's not any less exciting. The KFM versus BD matchup, super careful. You have both classes with only one escape each, and just so much amount of combos, little tricks here and there. And a reminder, this is how you take it. This last game for Cheeseless or Karma determined who goes into winner bracket and who has to step down into the losers bracket. And we have an interesting set of momentum. You know, Cheeseless at first, they were so hot. It was 2 clean wins, might I add. And then Karma's dominating 3v3, you know, that teamwork, you know, that comp. That I think there's just that kind of difference right there. You know, Cheeseless may be, you know, 1v1s, they do phenomenal. But as a team, as a whole, compared to the veteran Karma, it's going to take a little more than just, you know, individual skill for that.
Yep, and it is going to take the cheese. What keeps the pizza together? It's the cheese. It's the glue. It coheres the team. And Karma, they're the ones with the cheese at the moment. They're the ones that have been able to play as a unit. And even though their 1v1 game might have lacked a little bit so far, that 3v3 has definitely put the wind back in their sails. They need something to happen here because it is a 1v1 in this final match. Oh, the Soaring Falcon will connect onto Cheeseless at range.
And a deflect right away for Altair. This is going to be really bad right here. There's no CCs have been used by 9art. Using that wind build for that instant escape onto the lightning draw. Now here's the scary thing. There's that daze. And here we go, actually, with the lightning draw.
Oh, 9art!
This could be it for the 100. Oh, depends on the ground game. 9art just dropping the combo barely, but he did phenomenal right there with that combo.
Oh, no!
But here's the problem.
The escape is up for 9art, though. That's where he has the advantage here. But when you're in the air, there's not really much you can do. Altair just unloading and goes in with a big Comet Strike now with a knockdown with the leg sweep. 9art, though, here we go. There's no escape for Altair. 2% HP. Now his tap escape is up. But there's only one hit. Soaring Falcon goes in again. 9art needs one more HP, and there it is. He picks
killed him with the Blitz Blade.
Woo! And Karma will take the round. They take the game. And they will take their spot in the next round in the winner's bracket.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's pretty impressive on Karma's side. Well, 9art, why weren't you first then? Like, that would have made this a lot less scary. He played phenomenal, gets that deflect, that phenomenal combo. Using that wind build can force tab instantly, and he catches them with the daze, followed by lightning strike again. And finally, you know, Blitz Blade, which is supposed to be a ground break attack, finishes the kill. 2%, not enough.
Yeah, there was very little HP that Cheeseless had to deal with there. And alas, they are going to bow down into the losers bracket. Their hopes are still alive, but they cannot afford to have another loss handed to them. So the next game that we will be having on stream is the team that actually knocked Guardian down into the losers bracket in the very first game during the last qualifier, the first qualifier, Legacy, going up against Salt Mine. So this one, Hank, really catches my eye because Team Legacy, Sayuri, Akito, and Nisam, I was surprised that those guys didn't go the whole way last week. Granted, they had Happy in their bracket, and it was very tough for them to get through in the winners, but they had 2 shots last week at qualifying and were unable to do so. They'll definitely be looking to make amends.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, this is, if any, this is their tournament now. You know, if Legacy stood a very good chance already in a kind of difficult tournament with the top 2 seeds, then they're going to have even a better chance this time. And, you know, we also going against Salt Mine, another sort of new team that wasn't here last time around. I think for Legacy, they should be feeling good. This is their, like, opportunity to take it and go to EU for that excellent prize money.
Having a look at the losers bracket, Cheeseless, they've got it tough now. They do not want to be losing, but yeah, the prize money, $21,500 for first place, $15,000 for second place, $8,500 for third place, and $5,000 just for turning up. Not only is the cash, but the chance to qualify for the World Championships in Korea. That is something that's a box you want to tick on your resume, Hank. You want to be able to say, hey, I've represented my region. I've duked it out with the best. I've got what it takes. I am good at this. That is something that's something that's worth a lot.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the rundown title. I'm not so sure about your choice about putting that on your resume. Tell me, what jobs do you actually apply for, Kit? But definitely, you know, it's something that you can carry on your back, and no one else can take that from you once it actually happens. But again, you know, every one of these teams, you have to be the best of the region. You can't lose and get, oh, you know, there's always losers bracket. There's only so many chances you can get.
That's it. That is it. And Legacy, you can see Sayuri, Akito, Nissan, Warlock, Assassin, Destroyer. That is a damage-dealing composition. I mean, the Destroyer, very good for either both offensive or defensive capabilities, but in the 3v3s, that's really where he shines. And then Saltmine, Touch My Excalibur, Yatagami, and Perfect Warrior. It's BD, BM, Assassin. That, I don't know, that lineup, to me, it's wanting something, Hank. It's missing quite a bit for me.
Yeah, definitely. If we look at this in the 3v3 sense, we have a kind of scary comp on Saltmine. Again, this is a newer team. We haven't seen them last week, but they have 2 overlapping iframes, which, you know, not the most optimal conditions. Either way, though, you know, they still have the chance. There's still an opportunity. Nothing is impossible. Everything works. Let's just go with that philosophy in this situation. But on Legacy side, keep in mind, this is probably almost as veteran as you can get in this bracket. You have Sayuri, regional qualifying member from before, part of Legacy, still standing strong. D Warlock, Sayuri. Akito, 3rd place. OUO, Sin. Everyone knows this guy. Next up there with the Bears and Virus, not a joke. And Nisam, Rumble in the Realm player, was once part of Guardian. This is a Destroyer you can't miss.
You can't really miss a Destroyer, full stop. I mean, they're monstrous, but yeah, it's one that draws your attention to it. Nisam, like you said, we've seen him before. We've seen Akito last week, who had it tough. I mean, he had to go up against De Bears on several occasions and actually did okay. He picked up, I think he picked up a round in there, but look, De Bears was just outclassed him in the end. So Legacy versus Saltmine, ladies and gents, is the 3rd game that we'll be featuring today. And man, there's so much Blade and Soul across this weekend. I'm so excited for it. We've got, not only do we have these sets of 4 today, we've got the sets of 8 when we get to the pointy end coming up tomorrow. So that is where we get to see the best of the region go for the longest period of time.
Yeah, and again, that 8 set, I know we're not going too much into it today, is where everyone needs to play the 1v1. You're going to see the entire team and not just kind of the luck of the draw, like, oh, you know, maybe you didn't get this guy in this 1v1 matchup. Regardless, up next, we have on Legacy side, Akito the Sin, and on Saltmine side, they Blade Dancer, Touch My Excalibur. I'm just going to say Excalibur from now on because I don't want to keep saying that in my own household. Akito versus Excalibur right here, Sin versus BD. Let's get started.
Okay, let's get it on the arena here in the Blade and Soul regional qualifiers for the North American region already. The Blade Dancer getting the Phantom Griff off onto Akito. He was eyeing the wallbang but decided against it. Straight into the Heavenly Dance, and this is where the Blade Dancer is good. Hits the deck and now straight into the Lightning Draw, not wasting any time with his Excalibur. And Akito already on the back foot. But remember, he does have Mist, he does have Sustain. So does the Blade Dancer. However, now, Touch My Excalibur, when you're in the air, there's not much you can do there. Lots of damage into the web, bombard, close shave, you name it. There's a kitchen sink thrown in there as well. And Excalibur, all of a sudden, has had the seesaw turned onto him and is now at 30% HP. Make that 20% HP. He's got a tap escape still, but he's not opting to use it. 12% HP, Hank, and doesn't even use his escape and gets taken out.
Yeah, Akito playing. I gotta say that's filthy. That's filthy. Being able to kill your opponent, not letting them escape. But Akito played it so well. You know, you use that lightning draw or not lightning draw, lightning rod into poison breath. You get so much free damage. He knows if he escapes, I'm not in range. I'm fine. And then you follow it up with just these combos. And Akito's always playing super safe. Didn't get too close. Anytime he did, he knew he was in the right. He could iframe right there. And poor old Excalibur just like, I don't know when to hit my tab button. I just don't know when it is safe.
So Akito not only won that on the field, he won that in the mind games as well. Just making sure that his opponent was just not knowing when to use the tab escape. Am I getting baited here? Is he about to unload? Turns out, Akito just went full ham and did not relent at all. So Legacy, convincingly, for the first time that we've seen them today, take the first round, and that sends a statement, Hank. That says that they are 100% committed to qualifying and going to LAN.
Yeah, quite an upset. You know, Salt Mine, hopefully they're not taking this too hard. This is going to be, if anything, one of their hardest matches of the day, regardless of this bracket, regardless of the situation. You'll have to face them eventually. This is bound to happen. Up next, we do have Nissan versus Perfect Warrior right here. Destroyer versus Sin. We've seen this a few times. We've seen the weird, like, timeouts with this. The ice mines are just the combos. And either way, this is going to be interesting. You know, there's so many chances, so many different builds to go about this. We'll see what's actually going to happen.
Could be a quick game, could be a long game. I mean, the Destroyer can definitely take any match he wants to the distance, but the Assassin is more than capable of making this game a very short statement. So let's go. Nisam versus Perfect Warrior. Legacy 1 round up against Salt Mine. Remember, it is first to 3 points, with the 1v1s being worth 1 and the 3v3s being worth 2. And the Red Spin Typhoon will actually come out here, but is quickly turning leafed by Perfect Warrior just to keep the distance, because you don't want to be getting caught by that, especially when a wall is nearby. Perfect Warrior now is just forced to take a bit of damage here. No escape. His Lotus has been used, still has stealth, but now into the wedge coming out from Nisam. Not really giving Perfect Warrior much room to spread those wings on his back here, Hank.
Yeah, Perfect Warrior just, you know, he's in a bad situation. I'm not going to lie. He used both of his escapes and not really dishing much damage to Nisam. Nisam doesn't have many of his cooldowns, however. That's kind of the advantage that Perfect Warrior can play on. But the longer you don't do anything, the better it is for Nisam right now. He's going to have his cooldown soon. He's just waiting on his gust right there. And you see him pop his blue buff, trying to get that pull right there, not quite landing it. And now Perfect Warrior probably in the better situation. He has both of his escapes, hit into the decoy. This isn't good for Nisam. He's starting to rush it just a little bit, and we're essentially reset in terms of skills, except for the Destroyer on the back end right here. And this, you know, Sin's trying to just heal up whatever he can.
Yep, no persistence is the big one for Nisam. Meanwhile, Perfect Warrior has basically every cooldown you could want. Poison Breath will come across. Just collecting Nisam a little bit there for some dot damage. Fire Mine goes in, but no knock up. Perfect Warrior now with the Turning Leaf now. Throws down his Lotus of Escape. Now Nisam straight into the wet red spin. Did use Smash. Doesn't actually capitalize. So that is a big cooldown.
Yeah, we're seeing Nisam. You know, he's actually doing okay. You know, he's getting caught here and here, there, and not really landing many big combos. The damage is starting to pile up, though. Perfect Warrior probably does not want to play for time. I don't think he's winning on terms of damage right there. And there you go. There's a catch with the rat right there. The catch with the drag. But the tech chase just failed. No, Perfect Warrior is actually going to be safe. And that might have been Nisan's big chance for a big combo. Here's the back end. Here's the blue buff again. Finish it off. Here's the knee. Here's the grip saying no thank you to the mine. And there's the stop of the shield. The time bomb just saved them. Never mind. Not quite a save. And Perfect Warrior is just barely hanging on to any HP.
The smash comes through, but Nisam with the big, beefy knee coming through in that combo there, just unloading onto Perfect Warrior. That is another game for Legacy on the board. I don't want to be Salt Mine at the moment because that was dominant again. It was a little bit longer than they would have hoped, and Legacy, the Destroyer, didn't really time a lot of the skills that he would have liked, but in the end, Hank got there, and a win is a win, a point is a point, and now all that stands between them and progressing through is the 3v3.
Yeah, definitely amazing play by Nissan. For you at home who don't really know, the Destroyer knee is really absurdly powerful. Goes to defense, goes to deflect, and even though it says 3-second days, it actually somehow lines up closer to 4 seconds of just pure damage. So definitely, if you get caught by that without an escape, not a fun day.
No, and Saltman would have been feeling that. Poor Perfect Warrior had the opportunities there, but when we put, say, somebody like DeBears or Akito split down the middle and go against Perfect Warrior, Akito and DeBears they don't drop their combos as much. So Perfect Warrior, kind of like Poan, how he did stay too long up in the Skystone. Perfect Warrior just unable to finish out and round out those combos. So that's something to work on, but there is still the 3v3, and this is where the Assassin can definitely come in with those cheeky assists just when time is right, and then getting off those big wombo combos for damage when you least expect it, Hank.
Yeah, and now the big worry of the night, we have to deal with the 3v3s, and we have up ahead. It's actually going to be, I believe, Yarogami on Sin, not Blade Dancer. I could be, or Blade Master, but I could be wrong. We just have the lineups, but it will be, of course, Sayuri on Warlock, Akito on Sin, and Legacy on Destroyer. Salt Mine will have a Sin, BD, and Warlock. That even things out, you know, a lot better. We almost have a mirror matchup, except the spinners are different. You have a Destroyer versus the small little Blade Dancer. I wonder how big of an impact that's actually going to cause.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes are still on Legacy. I mean, with the 2 rounds that they played just then, it's hard to see them being beaten here. But look, stranger things have happened. We've seen it happen to Guardian last week, knocked down in the first bracket in the first game, having to go through the losers bracket to qualify. They got there in the end, but it's those little upsets. Stranger things have happened, Hank, and with Salt Mine, with the Sin, Blade Dancer, and Warlock, it's lots of damage. It's a lot of damage, but then you got Legacy, who do have that Destroyer, and Nissan able to provide the iron platings at the most opportune times is definitely going to assist Legacy here.
Yeah, and I think the only other worry I have for Salt Mine is it seems like one of them will be on an off class, whoever that Warlock may be. So that's also the thing you got to watch.
According to this, it'll be Yato. It will be Yatagami playing the Warlock here. So Excalibur on the Blade Dancer, Warrior on the Sin, and Yatagami on the Warlock against a Legacy, which is Akito on the Sin, Sayuri on the Warlock, Nisam on the Destroyer, and Legacy. All they need to do is take this 3v3. They'll progress through the winner's bracket, and Salt Mine, well, they'll have quite a bit of salt, and they'll be down in the mine in the loser's bracket.
How long will you hold on to that joke?
That was off the cuff, mate. I'm just that witty.
Anyways, we see the reset onto Excalibur. So now the Blade Dancer, which was kind of starting off bad, doing good. Now we see the saves being used by the Destroyer. Nissan trying to protect us. Akito taking so much massive damage, and he's been eliminated by the blue buff landing up from the Blade Dancer. Nissan, you have to tag in and save if you're gonna tag in. And we're gonna see upset. Legacy's actually down 2 people here. This could be it very fast. And Excalibur just instantly caught by the launch right there. There's a lot of free damage here. He's getting wall banged actually. Pretty funny. And Perfect Warrior is gonna take Sayuri from here.
What happened? What happened to Akito? Nisam just I don't know if it was a fat finger, if it was a miscommunication or what, but Akito was just lined up like a duck during shooting season and just gets it was like he wasn't just deleted, his memory was wiped. There is nothing remaining there. Perfect Warrior now at 54% HP. Look, having said that, for Legacy losing 1 member, they've managed to chunk everybody down from Salt Mine to about 50% HP, Hank. So that is not bad at all, but Akito is still picking his jaw up off the floor after that.
Yeah, not a situation you want to end up with. That being said, Legacy's playing their best out of here, you know, just pointing or kind of baiting out these escapes, watching these cooldowns right here. Nissan actually doesn't have his blue buff anymore, but he still has Gust. And we see Perfect Warrior is actually playing very cautiously. And there we go with the ram right after. Excellent ground game right here. And here's the problem. Gust now used, but no tech chase. We're switching out Sayuri's turn. The Sin does not have his escape, but he does have Flower up. You better be careful, Perfect Warrior. He caught out like this. The Thrall is up. Time Distortion probably is not up just yet, but is that needed? Leech just kind of whiffed into Yato right here. And we have the old-fashioned Warlock mirror match with the Venn diagrams on the floor.
Yes, here we go. The Sanctums go down and the stare game begins. The first one to blink is just bound to relinquish. Oh, both the Thralls go in, and Ezra, that's Yatagami, gets launched. He is no stranger to a Warlock aerial, but he's usually on the other end. And look out, Legacy have leveled it back up.
Yeah, excellent play by Sayuri. Actually got a beautiful aerial, and they get another one on perfect way. And both ult, I believe, and just changed this around. What was supposed to be a 2v3 is now a 2v1. Excalibur on the back foot himself. Warlock versus BD by herself. This is not going to be fun. Gets hit by the leech, and now he's just going to have to take free damage right there. PV, who cares about escape?
No way!
We have RMB4.
No way, man! Legacy, after losing Akito in the opening stages of that game, turned it... I don't know what we just saw. It was an absolute clown fiesta. But Legacy, even though they lost Akito, were able to chunk Saltmine's members down to very low HP. They did not have anybody on their team able to provide. They needed a summoner in that lineup at that point in time right there, just to get some major heals off. Legacy take a bow. I mean, you cannot, apart from Akito being taken down, from that point on, you cannot fault their gameplay. I mean, they slipped up, but man, did they make up for it. That was phenomenal.
Sayuri playing super excellent right there, getting his Warlock launches on time, you know, knowing that they're probably not as defensive as anyways, and he was able to just get those clean finishers. Nisam stalling out super well too, like, it was phenomenal. Those two players, my hat's off to you if I was wearing one. But up next, we have BB versus BB. Bagged Bags, is that? And Bold and Brash.
It's not XDDDD, it's BBBB.
Ah, there you go. Only for this match. Only for this match, though.
Yes. Well, look, Bold and Brash, they're the surprise packet. They've got that double KFM, and that is it for the first rounds. Unfortunately, Frozone, our man, didn't take the field today, and whose mans is this? We'll give the free win over to Rampage. So now in Bags versus Bold and Brash, the loser of this game will be versing Rampage, led by Sunshower himself. But I still can't stop talking about Legacy, mate. That was something that we don't see very often at all. It's when you lose a member, especially that early on, you're so far back. There's about a 10% chance you can turn it around. But Sayuri, with the luck play that the man had, the launches carried him and his team through that game. It was amazing. But now Bags, they'll be looking to replicate something like that. They've got the Summoner, the Blade Dancer, and the Gunner. So Poharan is the guy that stands out to this one. Satanical is a fantastic Blade Dancer. Oxtra, a fantastic Summoner. Poharan, probably the best Gunner going around in the region at the moment.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting setup. You know, you have Bagbag, you know, you're not really, we haven't seen you today, so you can do a super phenomenal start, you know, that warm, or you might end up being that slow warm up, kind of afraid for that. But again, you have the Summoner, Blade Dancer, and our first Gunner of the day, and probably the only one of this tournament, I believe, since our previous one would be Aikini actually already having won his spot for championships.
This double KFM one with Bold and Brash, we see Tang, your boy, didn't have the best KFM starting. Jeremy definitely the more ideal opening to his sort of gameplay. Do you think in the 1v1s they'll prioritize Jeremy a little bit more, knowing that Tang, it just might not be his class and Jeremy is a little bit more seasoned?
I mean, I will say definitely if I had to choose between Jeremy and Tang, my fully biased opinion is Jeremy. Fully biased. That's my disclaimer because I'm going to be yelled at if I say this was objective. Anyways, that being said, they both have pretty good lineups. As we saw previously, it's the Summoner, the Gunner, and the Blade Dancer. And from the newest changes to KFM, that Blade Dancer matchup is a lot better for you. So I'm saying either you send Nakuna or you send in Jeremy, and they can take Satanical. They can take I'm spacing out. Not Kamisha. That's on their team.
I'm looking at Poharan because you're the KFM guy here. I'm the Gunner at the moment, currently leveling 1 on the NA server. And it's fun, not gonna lie. It's hard for me to chain combos, but it's fun. It's super fun. And the way that Skystone is, just the utility of it is something that the game didn't really have before. So that's what interests me. But here we go, Bags versus Bold and Brash Oxtra on the Summoner versus Tang Jianlian on the KFM. So, not having learned from last time, they're actually going to back him in here again and send him in against Oxtra, Hank.
Yeah, we see that Nakuna's kind of running the interesting build. He's using PvE Searing Palm right there, and he's using Elbow Smash rather than counter. If everyone knows the big difference, Elbow Smash after counter only has 1 resist, so he has to make these count. And he has Gale Fist for catching him out of stealth right here. But here's the thing, you know, you're not going to have as much ground damage. This build is kind of interesting, I want to say, as long as, but the big matter is who's going to win. Both sides are kind of just poking at each other, not really doing much damage, which is an advantage for the Summoner side. We know that he can heal up anything. Catches it with the Beckon, so this will be the big thing. And there's the big launch with the blue petals. A lot of HP just dished right there. Nakuna, you gotta get in there, my friend.
Wow. Nakuna just rattling the hornet's nest and felt the wrath of the bees coming out from Oxtra, but now the Searing Palm is procced. This is Nakuna's chance to open it up. He goes in, turns his attention. It was on the cat there for a second, so he needs to get the targeting correct. Walks over the doom and gloom, and now Oxtra at close range is not where you want to be. No escape up for the Summoner. This is where Nakuna can really, really turn the tide of this fight. The cat comes to save the day.
See Nakuna just kind of hanging in there. He doesn't have Searing Palm just yet. He doesn't have his Comet. And there we go. Here's starting the stacking, the PvE damage, and he just goes in there and finishes the game.
Yep, Nakuna at close range when there's no escape on the Summoner. That's really your time to shine. It was baited out, and the Kung Fu Master ground game, we've seen it time and time again today, is very, very strong, especially once you proc that Searing Palm and just buff your way to victory in the end, and that's exactly what happened there. So well done, Nakuna, actually redeeming himself after losing the first incarnation of his attempts at the second preliminary qualifier, but he gets one back, and Bold and Brash take the lead.
Yeah, Nakuna, again, that was a very interesting build, I would say. He was using a lot of iframes, and the whole point of it is to stack that Searing Palm using the PvE one. This isn't for a combo. This is for the fact that every time you tick me, I tick you with twice as hard. That kind of philosophy, dealing that damage, and it paid out a lot in the end. Brings so much pressure. Up next, we do have probably our favorite matchups up ahead. Your Poon versus my Jeremy.
This is like me versus you now. this is great. We all know how that will go.
Yeah, and we have the coincidentally blue side from Kit. You'll have Poon. Red side from me, Jeremy. Unbiased opinion. I want Jeremy to win. And here we go. Oh, biased opinion. Dice Stone up in the air. No hooks set up, or his hooks already ready up. Poon gets knocked out of combat and immediately caught by that Rising Dragon. Yeah, nice. And Jeremy's already in a pretty good start right here with the Searing Palm combo. Poron's gotta deal with this kind of sustain right here. Is there any open, or Jeremy just loves comboing? And there it is. Finally, the escape gets used, and there's the instant launch from his unload right there. Now Jeremy's taking so much damage, gets stayed in the air. Escapes used on both sides, but you know what? Poe still has Alpha Call.
Alpha Call! Tombstone now. Tombstone coming across. Jeremy needs to make something happen. Dill does have Searing Palm available. Now it's his turn. Goes for the aerial route. Poe does not have Gunrise, does not have Skystone, doesn't really have much to deal with as Jeremy takes him down to 15, 10, 5, 2, 0 HP, and Jeremy, with a superb KFM play, takes Poe to the cleaners. Poe got a good combo off there, but only a good combo. Jeremy just didn't really give him any other room than that.
I'm sorry, I just can't hide the sheer happiness from my face for this match. I'm
trying to be professional here, and you're just like, I won, Kit.
I'm not saying, I'm trying not to say it. Anyway, we do have a slight referee ruling that the last set is going to be under review. So, you know what, maybe that one didn't count just yet. I'm not really sure what they would have called for. It seemed legitimate to me, but maybe I'm missing something from player expect. Yeah.
That's all we know at this stage, is that last set is under review, which means that one of the teams, we're going to assume the losing team in this instance, has challenged the ruling of the match. Obviously something just wasn't up to par, just didn't pass the sniff test, and so the admins will be just having a look into that one. But hey, look, mate, credit where credit is due. Jeremy played fantastically.
Yeah, and definitely, I want to ask, like, what do you think Poe, if this review goes under and he gets his rematch, what do you think Poe kind of needs to change for this matchup right there?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've seen a Shadow Gunner build once, and against a KFM, I think it may be viable, but the damage that Flame puts out is just very strong. I mean, you could see that the way that went, Poe didn't have an ideal game. He didn't manage to get up into his Skystone at all, which we know is a core part of his game. He was unable to unload quite a few quick shots and was able to juggle effectively. But having to use Gunrise early, just because of the sheer pressure that Jeremy was putting on, just really didn't give him much room. We had the Alpha Call and Tombstone coming in way too late, and it was sort of almost like a panic AC at that point, because he knew that he was up against the ropes. Jeremy was just looming, and look, I don't know. I honestly don't know what he can do. He needs more room, but what can he do to create that? That's the question.
Definitely, I think the worst, probably the finishing thing for him was the Alpha Call and Tombstone. He kind of stacked them right on top of each other, and already, if he's gonna Tombstone, the opponent's already planning to stay away for a few seconds. They know there's no point of approaching because there's that initial iframe. And then he just kind of, you know, if Alpha Call lasts for 5 seconds, Tombstone lasts for 2 seconds, that's 3 seconds that you essentially just only have. The moment Jeremy launched them into the air, Alpha Call would have expired, and just a full combo right there. Jeremy's very good at one thing. He doesn't allow you to really escape out of a combo unless you're using your escape. So we saw, like, you can't really roll, you can't really get up. And how you have to play around that, especially as a gunner, is you either have to bait out the skills using your own iframes, or you have to use your escapes aggressively, especially since you have two. You have Alpha Call and your own second win, and that probably is his best chance, I would say, to really catch him with the double escape class.
So it looks like there is going to be no rematch. So whatever gripe Poharan had, it's now been swept under the rug. So well reviewed. That game will be going over to Bold and Brash. So they take the second 1v1. Now we're going to head into the 3v3. So one more round from those guys. One more game, one more set. And they will be progressing through the winner's bracket, knocking Bagged Bags in their first time that they're actually getting a run here in the second round due to whose mans is this not being able to field a team. They might have just started off shaky. I mean, Bold and Brash are already, they're warmed up.
Yeah, definitely. Again, I talked about this before. It's like, it's your first game of the day. You're not completely there, and that might hurt. And especially Bagged Bag, you've changed your names. You've lost your previous mojo. You went almost 6-0, 4-0 the entire time, the last preliminary, and now you're already 2-0. It's going to be tough, but here's your chance. The 3v3s, you'll have your Summoner Oxtra, Blade Dance of Satanical, and Poe on the Gunner versus Kamisia Summoner, Jeremy on the KFM, and you're probably the best chance for Bagged Bags, the alt class of Tang Nakuna on the Destroyer.
I mean, we didn't, if memory serves me right, he wasn't the best Destroyer last time, as the KFM is a little bit more comfortable on that one. But let's see what he can do here. I mean, the Destroyer, you got one job. You got one job, and that is come in for the saves. Okay, you don't have one job, but like that is one of your major jobs, and we saw that I think in the Legacy game, not the Legacy game, might have been the Cheeseless game, where the Destroyer just didn't come in and save at the right time. But now, I think players will have learned from that, Hank. I don't think anybody else wants to be making that mistake twice.
Yeah, definitely. They're all awake right now, and I'm expecting a cleaner tag-ins, especially on both sides. You know, the newer team on Jeremy's side, you might not have that perfect synergy, but you got to work it through. Nakuna, get your Shadow Destroyer tag-ins in, and you'll decimate the opponent. And we have Poe versus Jeremy, round 2, same starter with the Skystone. Get your hooks. Let's see if there's any different outcome. Catches him with the air stun right there, and immediately Jeremy escapes. And the Summer just tried to catch this aerial right here. Kind of aggressive start, and this is might end up opposite. Escape used by Poe twice already. This could be bad. And we have the save on Nakuna's side. And here's the problem. Both sides do not have any escapes. How will they play around this?
Yeah, Poe straight up into the air like Superman. And now Jeremy already just tagging out, bringing in Kamisia. So we're going to have a Summoner versus Gunner matchup. It looks like it's going to be a B build. coming out from Kamisha as well, so keep your eye on that one. Poharan with 1 minute left until the mandatory tag out will do its thing. In goes Kamisha. He sends his cat to do the dirty working. Poharan will try and PvE the cat here. Gets it down to about 50% HP and just follows him across the map. A gun rise is used, so no tab escape now from Poharan. That was the power pounds from Kamisha that was burnt. Still does have his own escape. And now Poharan into the Skystone. This is where he is strong. He stays up in the air. Lots of damage coming across now. Starflare will do some damage into another trip shot, trying to land some damage. Some big, early, cheeky damage. But alas, another tag. Now, Poharan has survived too. This will be the three from three now. The third member in a row of Bold and Brash that he's gone up against.
Yeah, Poe's playing very well, stalling things out, not really taking much damage, but forcing the opponent to use resources. The HP values might look the same, but in terms of who's used what more, Bold and Brash is at the back end. Poe's going to get tagged out in about 5 seconds, and, trying to make that distance, doesn't want to get caught immediately. And Nakuna's kind of bad. He doesn't have much focus, so he doesn't have too much spinning ability. He has to follow in with a charge skill of some sort. And now it's Oxtra's turn. Starts with the iframe, removes the spin anyways. Nakuna's just going to take free damage, trying to deflect from this damage. And here we go. Here's the catch. And there's no follow-up right there. And he gets caught by the back end. And this is very bad from Nakuna's side.
Yeah, Oxtra can just unload here, but not giving up yet. In comes Satanical now for the tag in. Tang with 50% HP. Just needs to make something happen here. Soaring Falcon connects at a distance, but there's no chase. Now Satanical, though, gets himself caught. Will get rammed and cleaved just for his troubles. The Ember Stomp was down as well. And smashed cooldowns is something that Tang, Nakuna definitely needs here. In comes Poharan. Deals a lot of damage and forces Tang out. Big play. Now Deadlock coming in, just saving Poharan from some cheeky Jeremy damage. We all know how this went last time. Now the juggle play comes across. Lots of quick shot damage coming across from Poharan, but Jeremy will call in Kamisha and just breathe deep and heal back up.
Yeah, Jeremy's kind of, really trying to get in there. He runs with the iframe C, but Poe's seen through it. Not going to hit it. It's launched in the air. Alpha Call did get used. And there we go. That Shadow build chunking a quarter of Poe's HP. We got to watch out from here because now the HP value is getting very dangerous for Poe. He's trying to heal up just a little bit. Despite popularity, Gunner does not heal that well. That being said, on Bold and Brash's side, Destroyer is a bit on low HP. And we see the escape. The launches actually failed from the leap. Is there a tech chase? Perfect tech chase. The save is unfortunately caught out, and now we have Jeremy in the air. Luckily, the summoner heals and pretty much uses the damage from Poe to heal even more. And Poe is, kind of chilling, but the HP deficit on his side is, I will say, slightly better for bags.
Yeah, still 10 seconds away from Tombstone. Poharan 30 seconds until the tag out. Now, will blow Deadlock just to give himself a bit of survivability into the Skystone yet again. Will he go for aerials? No, he will hook all the way back. But this summoner, Kamisha, for Bold and Brash is definitely keeping them in this, as well as Nakuna on the Destroyer. Just still has one tag in assist left. Sorry, one tag in and assist left. Now Jeremy at close range with 10 seconds will burn his escape. Second wind is down. 7 seconds until he is out of this one. Big damage now coming in. Satanical, 80% HP down to 50. In goes the Soaring Falcon into the Heavenly Dance. Combos coming out here. Lightning draw for good measure. Kamisha up into the air. Poharan has come in for the assist and just wipes Kamisha's HP down to 30%. Hank.
And now he's just taking even more damage. Now we're doing the Summoner mirror match, and this time you're not gonna have sleep to save. Now we have Jeremy going in again. There we go. Talk about that scary KFM reliance right here. But let's see if he can actually turn it around. Doing super well, playing around this. And now we see that the ults are in for the KFM, Oxtra, and Poe. Satanical with a pretty good save, opting for that DPS win build that we talk about in 3v3s. Pretty useful. Party time actually already gets used by Oxtra. Save is not, or the days does not really quite get through, and Jeremy's gonna spend some time in the back trying to get his cooldowns back. This is his pace. He's a lot more comfortable with the Summoner mirror match right here. And we see the issue with it, and we see that, Oxy just trying to stay away from him, but Jeremy is relentless. And here's the ult, and he just chops it and forces the tag out. Poe cancels it and launches him in the air. There's no save for Jeremy. This could be very bad for him. Off the switch out, and now Nakuna might die from this because he's been tagged in with very little HP. Uses a stone shield just to heal up as much as he can, but I'm not really sure how well this is going to be for the Destroyer with no gust.
That was big there from Poe. He actually got the bull rush off to turn Nakuna around and then forced him straight into the iron plating. Kamisha is sitting on the bench with an ult. Meanwhile, Poharan has his own ult, still utilizing this Skystone, just waiting, biding his time for his opportunity. There's the Alpha Call coming across, but is forced into Gunrise, but has that second with the Alpha Call now. 30% HP for Tang, for Nakuna. Lots of damage coming across, being deflected here, but only so much. Quick Shot is getting it done here for Poe before we can see the Scorching Strike now for the Destroyer friend. Gunrise still available. Poe needs to hold on to that one. 45 seconds until he tags out to be confident in this matchup, as Tang has just thrown everything he has here. No cooldowns, no smash, no Ember Stop, no persistence, and nobody to help him.
Yeah, I think I want to say Nakuna threw the wrong ult in that case. He meant to do the axe throwing one, and he was just kind of spinning there, taking so much damage from Poe, and he might have to pay the price right here. We have the Summoner going in there and just getting chunked. You can't let that happen, Kamisha. This is probably your best chance. There's the launch right there with the bees, and we see the save from the Blade Dancer, actually chunking again. That BD multi-slash wind build is doing so much. And we see an ult fired again for that party time, not really being effective. And here's the KFM blue buff, but the launch doesn't make it through. And now Poe is tagged out with Oxtra sitting at much more HP than Kamisha right now.
Kamisha is got that sustain game in his back pocket now. Iron plating will come across as we hit the 3-minute mark. That gives everybody that extra assist. So utilized already by Nakuna with 2 minutes 38 seconds left. The Summoner versus Summoner mirror matches. The Cats are just waiting. They're sitting there. Then we see another sleep gun. In goes both Cats, actually. And it's Oxtra who's on the receiving end of a fair bit of damage. Doom and Gloom will come across from the man in blue. That's Bags. Kamisha now 22% HP, taking a lot of damage. In comes the assist. Doesn't actually find as much value as it would have hoped. But Kamisha, ooh, got his HP up, then lost it straight away. Meanwhile, Jeremy is still waiting. As soon as he come in, expect fireworks.
Yeah, and we have the issue where like Boulder Brash can't tag out right now, and the HP deficit is pretty bad for Kamisha. He's not only using Bee's build, but he's using Bee's build against a Summoner, which will probably heal through all that, not getting much DPS uptime. And we have them just hiding in petals because that's probably their best option. We see that beat, and the Cat's almost dead on Oxtra, so you gotta be careful. And there is the finish from the Satanical with multi-slash build, and now Boulder Brash is kind of not so well. You know, there's no more focus onto Nakuna's side. Misses the tech chase, it seems like, but catches someone with another drag. And here's the big chance for some damage. There's that knee. You have to opt out to escape, but you got caught out. You're in the corner, and here's the big damage. And here's the turnaround.
Whoa!
Defeated Oxtra with the mighty cleave right there, just dotting and melting him. And here's the scary thing now. We have Nakuna in a kind of a good situation. Probably has no more escapes. And he's very low on skills and already used his save from Jeremy. And now he has to deal with the Giga Sword right there. And that almost deleted him. And the final kill right there from Multi.
Yeah, big Giga coming out there from Satanical. And Bags, they've turned this one around. I was going to say, Hank, the good news is that both the Summoners are dead. And now we're just going to have a good old-fashioned slugfest. It will be KFM Jeremy going up against the Blade Dancer Satanical. This is still anybody's game. And we're now 40 seconds away from damage calculation. Combos just flying left, right, and center now from Satanical. We'll go into the Heavenly Dance and Ascend, etc., for the Blade Dancer. Straight into a lightning draw. Jeremy doesn't really have any escapes, no second wind. He's got no chance here if he's not careful. 25 seconds left into the wall bang. Phantom Grip combo coming out here from Satanical, who is just being absolutely relentless here. Jeremy, should he survive, his team might be a chance, but in comes Poharan, and that will be the game. Over to Bags.
Yeah, and here we go. We see the turnaround, you know, the basic like, hey, maybe this brand new team is super good in 1v1, but that synergy, that 3v3, the teamwork, that difference from the experienced teams that have been around for a while, that just showed up. And it's like, you know, it's pretty plain to see that Boulder Brash just didn't cooperate with each other as well as Bags did.
Yeah, I mean, Bold and Brash, they're kind of missing. They kind of wish they'd be able to run 2 KFMs, wouldn't they? I mean, both of those guys are so comfortable on that class. But not Legacy, Bags, they got the early frag too. I mean, These games, these 3v3s, Hank, they've been so back and forth. This is what you want to see. You don't want to see one-sided blade and soul. You don't want to see massive stompings. Because there's so much on the line here, there's also pride, and these guys are taking it all the way to the wire. Again, we're going into the final 1v1, the fourth round, the tiebreaker, the pièce de résistance. I mean, we're just delivering here, and huge props to the NA region for just delivering.
Yeah, and we have the rematch, the big lineup again, Pohan versus Jeremy. I think Poe might actually do pretty good in this one. We saw at the beginning of the 3v3s that he did a lot better, and he's probably woken up now.
Let's go again. So, deadlock straight away. Poe needs that distance, needs the space, needs the room. Jeremy, though, doing exactly what he did last time, not really changing it up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Searing Palm straight into Comet Strike, and Poe just taking a lot of damage here. He can't escape out of the air. Poe now, with sub 30% HP, is forced to use Gun Rise, and Tombstone now, I think this may be it. There's sort of a panic coming out there from Poe, who finally gets himself off the launch, straight into the quick shot, and will just unload onto Jeremy here, quite literally into the trip shot as well. Now, into Skystone. There's the damage in the air that Poe needs to do. That buys him time to reactivate his deadlock. That is a big, big iframe. Now into Alpha Call. And Jeremy just getting these launches off. I think he's all over Poe here.
Yeah, we see the Alpha Call finally gets used, and Poe, you know, he did use it. He spaced out his Alpha Call, and this might give him the chance to stall things out. He has a second win now, so Poe won't get caught by the next CC.
He's running!
Now his HP is so low, so that tab lead might just do it. And we see, you know, the combo, but he had his escape. Poe!
Yeah, no! He turned and ran and forgot he had his escape. He was like, nah, forget it. I am out of here. Just catch it. See you later. And then just forgot he had the escape. And Jeremy, again, for the second time in the game, defeats Poe in a 1v1. And this time, takes Bold and Brash through to the next round in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, again, very well played, I would say, by Poe. Just that very end, you had your escape still. There was still a chance. Don't give up, friend. You had the ability to escape, throw your Daze Bomb, launch another combo. Like, there was so many options. I don't know, but maybe, you know, decided this is too much work. Let's just clean it through the entire loser's bracket, get the free win from there. But Bold and Brash, continuing on, one of our newer teams is now going to the winner's bracket even further.
That's it. Well, the next game that we'll be featuring is Karma and Legacy. And even though I can't wait for this, ladies and gents, we are going to take a very short break. So just on the other side, stay tuned. Don't go too far, because we've got more action coming your way here for the second North American regional qualifiers for the World Championships. With the time of the World Championships fast approaching, the best Blade and Soul players in North America took their shot at a chance to represent the region at Korea. In the first of 2 preliminary qualifiers, only 2 teams would advance, and from the very first game, Team Happy stated their intentions.
For this Soul Fighter, will that HP buff keep him protected? But no, the damage is so strong!
You could see that players were starting off shaky, with former representatives Guardian knocked out in round 1 in surprising fashion. 2 games later, Bag T and Whose Mans Is This showed us just how important it is to time your assists, with Twizzy being taken down while trying to assist Dark.
The blitz now gets a wedge off, but in comes the assist. Oxtra just calls the boys because he needed it, but so did Dark. So did Dark, and it looks as though Twizzy's been taken out amidst all that. Poar now is the one who comes in for the side of Bag T. It's 3v2. While that was going on, Hank, he was taken down. In goes Ji-Young Park. That's Frozone, who's just stuck in the air at the moment. Poan doing his best circus impression, juggling him up in the air.
Not only was there wonderful esports on display, the games were always entertaining in one way or another. In this Summoner Mirror match, both Oxtra and Plubel proved that great minds think alike, timing their sleeps at exactly the same time, sending everyone in the chat and the casters into hysterics.
Assuming the roots aren't actually going to do all the work, am I right, Oxtra? And we see the sleeping done on both sides, so as I said, summoners, man, they can heal like crazy. What makes it even better is when your opponent's summoner heals you.
In the next game, there was more than a game on the line. There was pride. De Beers sees that Akito has used his escapes and pulls the trigger on a massive engage, taking the round and the title of the better assassin.
It's another bombard into the close shade. This time it's Akito. De Beers just is wary of that one. Throws out the poison breath. Will actually collect Akito here. Just get a little bit of that dot damage going. There's the fire mine we were talking about. And goes back in and starts dealing some damage. Close shade for good measure. Now into the stealth. Back out. So much damage. The bombard goes in into the aerial. And now Akito gets swept. He is in trouble. The Lotus is up barely. Finally, it comes back up at the Bears.
In the winners bracket grand final, Happy were looking to continue their dominant streak and secure a spot at the land finals. There was fantastic sportsmanship shown by Poan, letting Zack summon his cat, but his kindness proved to be his undoing as the summoner's sustained power was way too much for the gunner in the end.
Guys, it seems, and Zack seems he cannot win from here. So much for all that talk. The escape gets used, the root is there, but you have to have the chance to summon your cat right there. Poe is just standing.
Oh, you said Poan, that's where he struggles sometimes, as he stays way too long up in the air, but I've got to say, I want to give a big sportsmanship pat on the back to Poan, who's now probably going to lose this game, and is going to.
These games had everything, even deja vu. The impossible happened as 2 summoners managed to CC each other at exactly the same time again.
Now pounds left. Oxtra still has retreat. There's just so much going on screen at the moment. Zack, he needs to round this game out, and looks like both the pouncers at exactly the same time again. What is happening?
In the final game of the day, Bag T had their second chance of the day to qualify, but Guardian stood in their way. After finding their footing after an early elimination and a shaky start, they progressed through to the land finals in the UK.
The alcohol coming through Aikini. There we go, actually catching him out with the Frost Palm combo now going in. In comes, looks like Yasuni.
Congratulations to both Happy and Guardian on their success in Week 1 of the Blade and Soul World Championship North American qualifiers. Make sure to assemble your crew
Hello and welcome to the Blade and Soul North American.
You've been playing and practicing and you've done all this before.
Once you're sitting there, just zone in on the game, spar against all the great Blade and Soul players.
It's really an awesome experience. Seeing how we stack up against these people we've been watching for almost 2 years.
We all try to help each other improve, help our friends improve.
There's a lot of talent that aren't motivated to compete in tournaments. Can definitely be competition going forward.
For people coming in, I think it's just a matter of working on what they can do and improve that, but also capitalize on what they can do so that they can succeed.
See the disappointment on Zach's face right there.
Team synergy is the biggest element. Good team comp.
Find teammates and practice a lot.
NA's going for gold this year. Be a part of it.
To those of you who are active in the PvP scene now, to those of you who this is the first time playing, one day you may see yourself up on this stage, competing to represent territories around the world.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Blade and Soul Twitch channel for the second North American preliminary qualifier for the World Championships. My name is Kit Fox. It is a pleasure to be here. We've had the halfway point, we've had the 10-minute break, and we're already getting to the pointy end of the competition. I'm joined again by my man, Comcast Hank, Housephone Hank. Is what we're gonna call him.
Don't make that a thing. Nobody. Oh my lord! You need to stop being clever. Is your problem? Back to our actual tournament. Up next, we have Karma versus Legacy, veteran teams, both ex-regional. Well, we'll see who's going to be permanently ex-regional after this preliminaries. But both regional teams with a name behind their back. Coming up, powerful people. We have Legacy from their very first match of the day, 4-0 dominant victory. And Karma, a little shaky, but they got their 3-2 victory.
I'm excited for this matchup. Karma and Legacy, I'll be very surprised if one of these two teams doesn't qualify. I mean, Bold and Brash, they're looking good, but they haven't been very crisp. They've done it They've done it the hard way. You've got the easy path here, the hard path here. They've gone the hard way every single time. But hey, they're there. A win is a win, a point is a point. And now, should they win their next game, they'll qualify and for the chance to represent North America in Korea. But this game is what it's all about. Karma versus Legacy. Legacy definitely catching my eyes. But like you said, Hank, both of these teams contain players that are no stranger to this level of competition.
Yeah, so we have, once again, on Karma's side, Bluebell the Summoner, Shibahira the Force Master, and 9art the Blade Dancer, versus on Legacy, Sayuri the Warlock, Akito the Sin, and Nisam the Destroyer. And if y'all remember, the Karma comp, it's that anti-sustain, that super heal, that triple party iframe. We can survive, and you'll eventually just be damage down, versus Legacy running the pretty traditional comp, I would say. The Sin, Destroyer, and Warlock, the wall bank, the aerial damage, time distortion, blue buff, that kind of thing. So I want to say that's the edge to Karma's side. Their comp is kind of made to go against this. It's against the fact that we can heal up anything you do as long as it's the key issue, they don't die. The burst damage is their biggest weakness.
Yeah, we saw Sayuri proc his time distortion to perfection when Akito threw literally everything he had out when he started the game in the 3v3, trying to pick up an early frag or put his team on the early advantage. In comes Sayuri with that time distortion, just resets all the cooldowns and just basically resets the game, gives him another crack at dealing out those big, massive chunks of damage. But one thing Akito needs to be careful of is his timing. He got taken down rather sneakily coming in on the assist last time. So Legacy, even though they did it rough, they still got there in the end. They were one man down, 2 versus 3 and 1. But here we go, Karma on blue, Legacy on red, Bluebell the Summoner up against Akito the Assassin to start things off. 2 big heavyweights of the NA region.
And we see Bluebell actually opting to use Blue Bees, which isn't always a traditional type of spec against the Sin right there. Gets the roots and doesn't quite catch it. The Sin does the nice days. Here's the combo, and you see the bombard into the lightning rod, forces the escape. the CI frame right there. And here's the web, and now it's Akito's turn to really do some damage. Gets that nice bombard. He's got a cat manage right there. And honestly, I don't even think Pluba has really hit Akito at this point, besides the SS roots. Guard breaks right onto him. Said, no, thank you. That's in my face. And this combo is just never ending. It looks like Pluba really got to breathe in this matchup.
Plubel got absolutely no room, none whatsoever. Similar to what Jeremy did to Pohoran in the previous game, that is exactly what happened there. And Plubel, one of the best summoners in the region, again, the best players today, Hank, are being made to look like absolute wimps. And it's great to see that people aren't being shaken by that. You see a big name and you go up against them and you often think, well, damn, I'm going to struggle here. And you often go into the game with this mentality that you expect to lose, which is just not what we're seeing today. Plubel will be disappointed that he couldn't do better there, but Legacy, they'll be extremely disappointed that they weren't able to qualify last week. And they'll be looking to do that exactly today. I mean, they'll want to be doing it in the winner's bracket against Bold and Brash, ideally. They don't want to be in the loser's bracket again. I mean, they did that last week. They had 2 shots at qualifying. Maybe 3rd time's the charm?
Yeah, you know, like, this is kind of the last, well, not the last of the last try, but this is probably your 3rd strike if there is one, because, you know, after this, it's losers bracket in the 2nd preliminary. You're not going to get much of an opportunity after this. The stakes are high, and the stakes have always been high. You know, you always want to play with the thought of winning, never about what happens if I lose. But for sure, Karma might be a bit shaken up by that pretty dominant play by Akito. A really powerful Sin, and he just, let's face it, he danced, and all went to hell for Plubel.
Yep. So let's go. The next game will be Nineart versus Nisam. So Blade Dancer going up against Destroyer. Interesting that they put Nisam in here. Normally the Destroyer you would think would be saved for the 3v3 Soaring Falcon. Bit of a whiff there. Nisam was able to read that one very, very well. Now, the days will go in straight away. The drag from Nisam will actually catch Nineart out here, who's forced to use retreat, and now the reversal. So Tab Escape is down. All that's left is the Flock of Blades in terms of major cooldowns. And speaking of cooldowns, Nisam just throws everything. The Ember Stomp, the Smash, the Ground and Pound game. Nineart has absolutely nothing to do with this. And 17% HP left. He'll go back, lick his wounds, and think, what the hell just happened to me?
Yeah, Nissan playing super well, knowing how to really stack these daisies, and he just got obliterated by Red Spin of all things. What just finishes off the game. Nissan just, that was probably as close to perfect as you'll get. Karma
Dominant.
Really, really at the bottom of the slope right now. Legacy, amazing victories.
Like I was saying, the Destroyer, not normally one you usually for the 1v1s. To throw him in there like that and be dominant against not only a Blade Dancer, but Nineart? Again, it's just, what is happening? It's like we've gone through the closet into Narnia today, and everything is just backwards. Like, the underdogs are coming through, and I'm not saying that Legacy are the underdogs, but Karma, they've got big players, but just no cohesion.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of, you don't want to downtake what Legacy did. Like, they played amazing. And Karma, you know, you have a name to you. You know, you're veteran players, but you can't just forget who Legacy were. You know, these players, I mean, not all 3 of them been on the same team before, but individually, their track record speaks for themselves. And this 3v3, it's going to be a very large gap if they stick with the same mentality of, oh, we're just Karma, we can just go and plow our way through. No, you have to play pretty well. Again, that heal build does not work if you insta-die, and these combos are pretty deadly on the Sin, Warlock, and Destroyer side.
Already, Hank, we've had about 2 minutes of gameplay and already 2 points to Legacy. We're going to get into the 3v3 now, and this is where Legacy sort of had a slip-up last time. It was weird yet again. They lost Akito early on, putting themselves a man down in their previous game against Salt Mine, and then ended up with the big win, 2 against 3. That very rarely happens.
Yeah, I think the issue with these type of teams, and we see it again with the previous double KF team, KFM teams, you have that kind of one all-star player, the really supreme that he stands out. And in that case, back then it was Jeremy. This time it's Akito. The only weakness with that is if that player themselves gets a little too conceited, they try to take just that extra step that kind of puts your team backwards.
So Karma versus Legacy. This is Legacy's game point, and Karma to stay alive. Regardless, there is still the losers bracket, but if you win this game, all that stands between you and qualifying is Bold and Brash, so you want to be picking this one up. Legacy already wasting no time with 9art into the Phantom Grip, just dragging Akito ever closer to that wall. Will land the Heavenly Dance, and actually goes to the Crash as opposed to the Ascend. Regardless, still damaged, still stylish, and now we'll actually get the decent stun off as it was actually Akito getting the stun off onto 9art into the Poison Breath, and great assist coming through from Nissan with the Iron Plating.
Yeah, we see Akito has his flower down, but now 9art is actually the one with no escapes, and this could be very bad for these very long Karma. Shibahira probably going to get the save right there. Actually, doesn't seem like he's going to hit into the ice, and Akito's going to get that nice beefy reset. And poor Bluebell is going to have to deal with a fully spec Sin with pretty much all of his HP. Not really an optimal thing setup you want to have right here, especially considering the 1v1 where Bluebell was just destroyed by the Sin. And we see him just using his stealth. We see that blue petals once again, Bluebell. We're seeing that he's using that blue petals, and it seems like the bees, and there's not much chance except for this big aerial damage right here. That's been canceled, and now Akito has to watch out for his HP. But once again, Bluebell with those bees won't really catch Akito in this neutral game, and this is his domain to do damage.
Yeah, Nissan coming in 2 for 2 with the Iron Platings now at pristine time, like a neurosurgeon just hitting the mark. He is just on point now. Bluebell against Akito, 13 seconds left until Akito gets mandatory tagged out. But Bluebell will just be trying to send him out with a parting gift, you would think. 50% HP. Akito won't be too phased at how he's started this game off for Legacy. He will go back onto the bench quite happy with his performance. Doom and Gloom straight away from Bluebell, trying to catch Nissan as he comes in for the tag. That sort of split-second Phantom Grip will pull him out of the Ember Stomp and all the way back over to the other side.
Yeah, we see that actually Nissan gets his escape already used, and this could be bad for him as he gets PvE'd by these bees. The red spit's not doing much. The blue spit is the blue petals kind of did more damage, and Nissan's getting comboed, and now that both of his escapes actually gets caught afterwards by a daze, I believe, and now Akito comes to save Nissan right here, and now we're at the Legacy problem where Sayuri is now left, and we have Karma just healing back up all the damage they've received. This is that anti-sustain build we're talking about, the anti-sustain comp.
I want to see Shibahira come in and just unleash the beast, unleash the sheer power of that Force Master, because let's be honest, it hasn't really found its footing in quite a few tournaments now, FM, in this region, so hopefully Shiba can be the one to turn that tide, but Sayuri just goblining his way around. The Thrall is in there, did actually use the Gravity Well, so that will just keep 9art at the feet of the Thrall for now. Sayuri trying to get one of these big Mopper launches off, but the cooldowns are still up for 9art. Still has the reversal. Flock of Blades hasn't really been used much this tournament. Ooh, Soaring Falcon not actually finding the mark. 9art just taking slow damage here. Just chipping away is Sayuri. Just with these salvos, these Wingstorms, just at range. And poor 9art trying to iframe as much as he can, but is just not getting there in the end. Now 9art finally gets Sayuri with a Phantom Grip. The Leech will go out. Didn't actually catch 9art there. And this matchup, Hank, is just a little bit anticlimactic as Nissan comes in for Sayuri.
Yeah, again, it's Karma's advancement if they can just do little bits of damage here. They don't need to go for that nice fancy finisher, because if they ever need one, the range classes can do it. But they're opting for the saves in this case. 9art automatically uses the escape. He's getting caught out twice, and there we go. Talking about that save from Chiba here right now. And Nissan's just gonna, chill in his own little shield right there. The Phantom Grip not quite catching, and now Nissan's actually in a decent position. Gets focused back from the deflect, and now with Destroyer versus FM matchup, the faded, horrible thing that Destroyers hate. But we'll see how Nissan plays around this. Unfortunately, just whiffing these timings for these CCs. The tornado lands, so you can't really use an escape. There's the Wrenchman, and there's the wall. Not quite going for the wall bang. Shibahira freezing himself. And Nissan just kind of running out of things to really use. There's not much to engage with. The Gust gets finally used. Sayuri tags in. Is he going for the reset? And there's the reset. Shibahira might be taking a load of damage.
Oh, there it is.
hiding into his Ember Stomp, and he's just wailing on him right here. We better be careful. The Destroyer has his ult, gets the knockdown launch, loses on the floor, and here we catch both of them actually in it. And luckily, Nineart gets the save, and Nisam is up in there taking a lot of damage. We're trying to switch things up. Bluebell's been in, but he has no more friends, and this could be the turnaround for Legacy here.
I feel as though Nisam should have capitalized a lot more than he did there. He had Shibahira up against that wall. I mean, the wallbang opportunity was there, and now with 3 seconds, Nisam's going to go back just being left longing. Sayuri will come back in, this time going up against Bluebell. Shiba didn't do a terrible job. Didn't do a fantastic one either. He did chunk the Destroyer down, but it is FM versus Destroyer. Now Sayuri straight away wastes no time. Throws down the Sanctum. Now Bluebell needs to play this range game. There's the launch! Goodbye, Bluebell! And now Karma on the back foot already. Shibahira will come back in. The Force Master against the Warlock. Lends a couple
Is that an obliterate?
I think it might have been. Impact as well for good measure. And now Akito will come in and just try to bombard his way to victory. Close shave as well. That is the Tab Escape burn for Shibahira, but he does have ult. So does Akito though.
Yeah, now we have the problem with Karma, all that living, and you don't really have any more tag-ins because all of them are used for defensively, and Akito can just play full range. He's comfortable with these 1v1s. As I say that, he kind of whiffed his lightning rod. But let's pretend that didn't happen. The escapes used on both sides, although SS is still available for Force Master. It seems like Akito doesn't have his flower, as he was just in the blue buff spec, and he's trying to just one-man army the rest of this. Gets that, almost actually gets the tail, and then we get a tag out. Now it's Nineart's turn. Akito doesn't have an escape, so this could be very bad for him right now. He has to play super smart. I believe he just ulted away from Nineart, or I could have been just mistaken right there. And now we see that he gets caught, and this could be it. There's the Giga Sword, and Akito obliterated for just trying too much for what you didn't have to do. We were talking about that all-star mentality right there.
Oh, that was just... That was supreme Nineart, just getting rid of Akito. And I think you were right. He did have an ult. And then by the time that fight came back in, he didn't have it again. But now this is another launch. This time Sayuri will actually get the kill here. We're down to a 1v1, Hank!
And now, okay, wait. When did... Okay, alright.
What happened? Oh no, that's an escape being used by Sayuri. A very, very early second win. It is a 1v1, so somewhere in the midst of all that, the Dragons will go in. It is a miss. Shibahira trying to make something happen, gets the Frost Burst off, and all of a sudden, this game has gone onto a knife edge. It's Sayuri versus Shibahira, Warlock versus Force Master. Legacy on the back of Sayuri here have just... They nearly got the game. Shibahira and the rest of Karma just able to turn the tide. Now, Gravity Well will go in. Still no second win just yet. It will come up now for Shibahira as the Sanctum is down. Sayuri, 25% HP. Sanctum providing much needed protection. Dragon Helix is going in. It's just chunking down Shibahira ever so slowly. Meteor Shower comes across. Doesn't collect Sayuri, who's just able to saunter his way out of that. And 21% here with less than 2 minutes to go. No assists. And Hank, this will be it. Sayuri gets caught napping. Shibahira with the Firestorm gets it for Karma. Wow.
I mean, well, you asked for it. You told me you wanted Shibahira just blow up all over him, and there you go. That 1v1 at the end. He used that ult, killed that Thrall, just kind of wall-banged, destroyed Sayuri's HP, and then played around Veil, danced around the poor Sayuri. All he could do was hold the block. And this FM just come from all sides. There's nowhere to run and finish the game. Karma taking that victory. Legacy, we got to talk about this. Akito, you got to tag out. We're having these issues where just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And we're here for the big final 2-2. We're getting a lot of these fourth rounds.
It's fantastic to see, isn't it? I mean, that's what the viewers want. They don't want clean swipes. They don't want stomps. They want to see some good old-fashioned nitty-gritty blade and soul, and that is what is happening. I mean, Legacy for the second time today, they're going to have to play off in the final round, and they're going to send Akito in again, going up against Shibahira. So It's all on the back of the Force Master, all on the back of the Assassin, and Akito, I think, with no 3v3 to worry about here. It's obviously his game is a little bit shaky today. It's not the Akito we know and love, but in the 1v1s, definitely finds his footing, because we saw the way he made short work of Bluebell in that opener.
Yeah, definitely a very scary matchup. Shiba Hero is, we haven't seen him a lot in these 1v1s, but I'm sure Karma had a plan for this, and we're about to find out what it is.
2 for 2. This is it. Game point for both of these teams at the moment. Oh, the Frost Tornado to start things off from Shiba Hira. Just catches Akito napping and says all of a sudden, hang on a minute, I need to wake up here. I'm playing for my team's life. Oh, Poison Breath. Big value coming across from the Assassin from Legacy straight into the Bombard. But Shiba Hira, he is wizened up. Oh, tries the Frost Burst, but Akito too far away.
Yeah, Shiba having kind of an HP deficit, but good on the escapes. And now Akito's trying to really get that damage. It leaves him in the air, trying to buy out time for his 10 more seconds onto his own stealth. What are you going to really do from here? And the stun land right there. The escape used by Shiba here. He has to be careful. He uses his ice sheet, and you're kind of low on iframes, my friend.
Low on iframes, low on escapes, and really needs to either land a combo here or just run. And I think the latter is probably the worst option. We'll actually be able to get away out of his ice armor now. Just sitting back, we'll proc the mine. That's probably the best thing to do here while you wait for the cooldowns to come back up. There it is. Close Shave, Bombard, Poison Breath, you name it, it's there. Akito just making sure Shiba Hira knows the power of the Assassin. Another Frost Burst coming out here, but Poison Breath is just finding value for Akito, just dotting down Shiba Hira, who's yet to get off a decent Inferno. And there's no real surprise to that, but Akito is just wrecking him here. That is the second wind used. Speaking of escapes, Akito's used his as well, so this is the best chance Shiba Hira has had. The Glacial Beam will go out, doesn't connect. Impact will, though, and there's the Inferno now. Shiba Hira needs to make something of this, but he's webbed! And the Bombard for the easy kill. Akito making that one look like he was taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, I thought Shiba Hira had just done a great start. Instant guard break followed by the Glacial Beam stun. Fortunately, Akito just stayed calm and just completely just danced around. Didn't really let Shiba Hira get big combos, if any at all, to be honest. And Legacy getting their victories. And we see kind of being a trend here. We're seeing a lot of these just 1v1 wins. Like, that's just how you clear it through. But you know how, like you said before, a win is a win. Up next, we have Cheeseless versus Salt Mine. I believe this will be our last match of the evening, afternoon, wherever you may be, or the morning if you're Kit.
Yes, shout out to all my Aussie brethren that have and Kiwis to represent the entire OCE region in the chat today. It's fantastic to see that that this game does actually perk up a few ears in OCE, and they got up as early as I did to turn out to this one, and it was very early. So well done. But yes, it's potentially the last game of the day. Cheeseless versus Salt Mine. In fact, it is the last game of the day. Salt Mine played phenomenally against Legacy. The score doesn't really tell the full story there. Their 3v3 game was on point. They took down Legacy. They removed Akito early on and gave themselves an opportunity. But where they went wrong is they gave them they opened themselves up to too much damage. Yes, they killed Akito, but in terms of HP pool shared across them, they were down to about 50% HP each. And when you're using the Blade Master, Blade Dancer, and Assassin, you don't have the sustainability power as, say, a Destroyer or a Summoner would offer you. And that is why they fell.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, we have Cheeseless and Salt Mine. They're both kind of I would say they're the rookies of this bracket. You know, they're officially the newest team compared to this preliminary and the previous preliminaries. And unfortunately, you know, we kind of doing this kind of rookie hazing here where you got to pick one to stay, the other one's got to go home. This is, again, loser's bracket, last chance. It will be the last official match of the evening, Cheeseless versus Salt Mine. And gotta say, it's going to be very interesting. If you don't remember the teams and the teammates, you have Caped Baldy, the Blade Master, Altair, the KFM, and we saw, I believe, Genie was on the Warlock last time, or I might be mistaken about
it was Yatagami who was on the Warlock.
Right. Wrong side. All right, don't be me who's mistaken. And Genie on the Sin. And on Salt Mine, you have Touch My Excalibur on the Blade Dancer, Yatogami opting for the Warlock, Ezra Scarlet, whatever, and Perfect Warrior on his Sin.
Yeah, so it says there Yato might be playing excuse me, might be playing BM, but he has opted for the Warlock in a couple instances. As we tick down and we'll get the matchups passed through, we'll let you know who's going head-to-head very, very shortly. But yes, the last game of the day, two teams looking to join Happy and Guardian in qualifying for LAN, because remember, not only is there the chance to represent the region, you get that big cash money wad as well. We turn up to LAN with big $ sacks, old school style, and say, here you go, guys, thanks for coming. But regardless, Cheeseless and Saltmine, both of these teams are a chance, and I'm torn, Hank. I'm very, very torn. I don't know who to root for. I don't know who's going to take this game because, like you said, they're very new. These players may not have had as much of a footing in the scene. Like, I mean, Cape Baldy is one that has had, but Altair is probably speaks out to you more than myself, but Saltmine as well. New players, Yato, Excalibur, and Perfect Warrior. Across the last couple tournaments, they were absent. And now they've got Cheeseless to go up against. And I don't know, it's hard. It's low tier, but it's high tier at the same time.
Yeah, and so we have up next actually Genie on the Blade Master instead of his listed sin, and Excalibur sticking onto that Blade Dancer. Let's go, the tall of the short, and we see the Daisy actually being used on Genie, his Day Soaring Falcon, and already touched by Excalibur, has used his escape and tries to follow up with the big lightning combo. Genie responding with his own escape. And now we're at the impasse where both of them are popping their iframes. The Daze is caught, and now Excalibur, actually, he seems like he should have the advantage, but according to my count, he's actually low on cooldowns right now. Doesn't really have much to use. And now he's getting caught out with this big 100-0 from the flock, launched into the air. Genie's just doing super well right now, and here's the problem. Is he going to drop this combo and get deep? Off timing from that ground counter right there. This could be it for him.
Huge deflect coming through, so Excalibur still in this one, but Genie is just unrelenting, just absolutely unrelenting. Excalibur will heal. Lightning Draw comes across for said man, but Genie is just able to back away from that one, now sitting back. Remember, the counter game is going to be strong here for the Blade Master, but now it's going to be the old style, ground and pound, and no reversal, no tap escape, and Excalibur somehow survives that. Now into the Ascend combo. Big damage, no Lightning Draw to follow this one up just yet. It was just used, remember. But there is that ever-looming threat of the wallbang, and now Genie just being just scratching Excalibur here. But talk about scratching, that's a Searing Slash, and Genie on the BM gets the win over Excalibur on the BD to start things off. Wow.
Yeah, definitely one of the weirder matchups. I want to say that Blade Master, you know, they have a lot of CC, but a lot of them are very weird. I would say situational. Their knockdowns cannot stack on top of each other. Dual strike only works if you extend CCs. So you kind of need to play around. You either have to do a big long combo or you have to even out your spacing. Meanwhile, the Blade Dancer, very short cooldowns on their kind of combo, on their CCs, but they have very few of them. We saw every time he had to use Lightning Strike to blow the escape. And Genie in return just, you know, escaped and followed through pretty calmly. Eventually, got the catch. Those deflects kind of scary, but overall, congratulations, Genie. We'll have to do it for the next 1v1s, and hopefully Saltmine can turn it around.
They really need to. We'll wait and see who's going to go head-to-head in this one. But Saltmine, like we said, you can't take anything away from them. They're strong, especially in their 3v3s. But Cheeseless, the BM has been questionable of late. We saw Zay last tournament over on the EU side go up against a gunner and play a fantastic deflect game, which he really needed to do. Just try to catch them off guard. That's really where the BM can just unload the combos, but you need that precision timing to be able to open it up to give yourself the window of opportunity that you need.
Yeah, definitely, especially since so many classes have guard breaks. You can't just willy-nilly hold your block. You can't just block randomly. You have to predict. You have to expect. You have to react. And that's the big thing. I think Cape Baldy being a very good Blade Master, and we've seen it before, another Blade Master with Genie too. Unfortunately, you know, he got deflected himself, but still took the win. Cheeseless kind of, you know, getting that first victory. They don't want to stay in loser's bracket. This is both teams, they're very, very, very last of the last chance in this case.
Yep, there's no losers bracket, there's no more safety net, and there's no third qualifier. This is do or die here, and Saltmine, will be staring down the barrel of defeat if they lose this next 1v1. We're just going to wait and see who will be going head-to-head here, but Cheeseless with a round advantage. Remember, Cheeseless, they went down to Karma in the previous, in the winners bracket, the upper bracket, and Karma are a very strong side. Karma just lost to Legacy, so they're back down in the losers bracket. Should Cheeseless win this, there'll be a chance that they might meet Karma yet again.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like, that's just how the brackets work. You know, if you lose to a team, don't think you can just clear through the entire bracket without ever facing it, because it's inevitable. The setup for this is if you're good, if you actually plan to qualify to become the finalist, you have to be able to beat anyone regardless of when or where it is. And once again, we're going to be seeing on actually a set which was supposed to be Altair. I believe he has just forfeited this set, actually.
Okay, that's interesting. What do you think has happened there? So Altair has given up a point here. So Altair plays for Cheeseless. So it's now 1v1 according to this. So I don't know what happened to Altair. We're just getting the information passed through to us now that Altair from Cheeseless is unable to play, which means that he forfeits the set point. So Saltmine will take a 1 point set and level it up. So we're going to go down to the 3v3. Hank, we're not even going to get that tiebreaker. Whoever takes this 3v3, that'll get them the 3 points. That will get them through.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of if anything, much higher pressure. There was no safety net for either teams. You know, the idea that, hey, you know, we had to win this, or hey, we can lose this.
Okay.
It's gone.
Hold the phone, just getting the whispers coming through now. Set 1 is going to be redone. And Altair forfeits the set, warning due to violation. That's all we know at this point in time. So we are going to be having a rematch of the first set between Cheeseless and Saltmine.
Yeah, very interesting situation. So we're going to see once again Genie on Blade Master versus Excalibur on Blade Dancer. For those of you who are kind of refreshed, or actually, I'm not sure if it actually will be a repeat of set 1. We do see rematch, so I'm going to guess it is. Genie's actually been very known as a Blade Master for a long time, and only very recently switched to that kind of the Sin alt spec. So once again, you have quite an interesting idea of like a person who switches between their alts, between 3v3s, and plays their main in 1v1, but now they've played their alt much more recently than their main. Kind of a gray zone of how you would pick your class, huh?
It's kind of a gray zone in how you would build your team as well. You know, when you sort of go, hey, what do we need? What does our squad require to get us through, to qualify, to represent the region? Oh, okay, so you might be good at X class and you may have Y class in your back pocket, which may not be as good. Or do we take somebody who mains Y class, for example? You know, it's hard.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, but in the end, they did figure it out. They're going to just have Genie play on the Sin. I'm pretty sure the setup was, hey, play Blade Master in 1v1s. That way, you know, you have a better matchup. Saltmine having a BD Blade Master in a Sin. Maybe he just didn't want to play Sin against that lineup. Doesn't matter. Here we go. The rematch. Genie versus Excalibur. The Blades will clash.
Blades will clash, sparks will fly, and blood will spill here on the Blade and Soul Arena. Remember, Saltmine, with Altair forfeiting his next set, with Cheeseless giving the forfeit over to Saltmine for the next set, they already had a 1 point advantage, but Genie wasting no time, already taking Excalibur down to below 50% HP, into the flock of blades, just unrelenting! Genie says, you know what? Rematch or no rematch, I got this. Throw me in, just like a Molotov. Light them up, throw them in, and just sets the place on fire. Well done, Genie.
Yeah, Genie just pretty much a clean finish right there. Learned his lessons, is not going to hit into deflects, isn't going to randomly drop combo, isn't going to waste his CCs. And like I said, Blade Masters, you have two options. You either space out your combos because of your very long, unorthodox CCs, or you just do a super long combo and finish it 100-0 from there. We saw that flock, we saw that flicker, and we saw that clean finish. This will be our game point. Last set, last game of the night, evening, wherever you are, assuming there's no rematch of the sort. Cheeseless versus Saltmine, 3v3s.
I'm excited for this one. I mean, Kate Baldy, what do you think he'll roll out with? Will he pull out the BM or that gunner? I mean, combo that with Altair, who forfeited the previous round. We don't know much more than there was some sort of violation, but regardless, it's now 1v1, and it all comes down to this. We're not going to have the dreaded fourth round, Hank, the 1v1 at the end, which we've seen so often repeated today. It all comes down to this. And like you said, no more safety nets. The loser goes home permanently.
Yeah, and I think definitely this is going to be one of the games to watch out for. Keep in mind, this is kind of your super rookie type tournament right here, all right? These aren't nobodies, but they are fairly new to this preliminaries. But on Cheeseless' side, I would say Kate Baldy, he's going to stick with the Blade Master. If Genie thinks that he could have gone into 1v1s with Blade Masters regardless of the matchup, they're probably thinking a Blade Master will work in all 3v3 matchups. Where I see the Blade Master, the KFM Sin, my predictions, and Salt Mine, you know, we've seen the Blade Dancer with Excalibur. Yadogami is probably going to opt for that Warlock 3v3, and Perfect Warrior, the other Sin. Kind of a similar mirror right here. The only difference being your blades. The other Sin. It's either Genie or Perfect Warrior. You have the Warlock, or not the Warlocks. You have the KFM versus the Warlock, and you have the Blade Master versus the Blade Dancer. What do you think about this kit?
I want to see Kate Baldy absolutely pop off. I want to see some Gunner class representation. I want to see them come off the coattails of Pohoran and have Kate Baldy just pop off and just absolutely light up the arena. But Saltmine, Yatagami, we don't know if he's going to be playing that BM or if he's going to be playing the Warlock. I mean, last 3v3 he did actually roll out with the Warlock and surprised everybody. It's not listed there. We talked about this last time, Hank. It's one of those secret menu items. It's not there, but when somebody orders it, you know that it's bound to entertain.
Yeah, no, actually, I've kind of, the background, you have these players and you don't, especially if you don't know who they are, that's where that surprise comes from. If you didn't know who Yadogami is, maybe you didn't know that Warlock even existed. This is the big surprise, and maybe that's their advantage. Everyone researches the top players, everyone watches what they do, but these newer players, they get these chance to really just pull things out of nowhere. Do you know we don't have Genie right there listed at a Blade Master, but they sent him out as their 1v1 representative?
I mean, I don't know. Surely you can't just pull out, hey, all of a sudden I've got a surprise destroyer. I didn't list it, but hey, I want to run it. I don't know if that's what's going on here. I don't know if there's some shenanigans. I don't know if there's gentlemen's agreements, but regardless, we're getting surprise classes, and I like it. I like that little bit of extra spice that is added to any sort of sporting event. But Touch by Excalibur, who's done okay as the Blade Dancer for Saltmine, but really needs to start stepping up. He's been going in and trying to carry the team just off of his own back at the moment. And it's weird because Perfect is listed as the captain. Perfect Warrior hasn't really had the most perfect time, you would think, on the arena so far, Hank.
Yeah, he's a solid all-around Sin, but it's like that spotlight feeling. A lot of times your spotlight doesn't go to these specific players, and it's rather strange, especially since you have a Blade Dancer Warlock Sin comp. A lot of times the spotlight goes on the Sin. One of the traditional methods of just catching people out is instant blue buff, Lotus Fury stun, and the Thrall will instant launch. We see that Wombo combo. We saw, I believe it was Legacy that actually used it as such a huge finisher, that kind of spotlight moment. And it feels kind of lackluster in this case. Perfect Warrior being the team captain and just kind of straying away from this limelight,
Yeah, Altair is another one on the KFM who probably hasn't had the biggest, most impactful sort of series so far. I mean, against Karma didn't do too well. Definitely looking to make his mark as we just wait for these players to sort themselves out for this final 3v3 here. I mean, we've seen Legacy. I don't want to say they made short work of Saltmine. They struggled a little bit. So Saltmine definitely have the composition to knock off the Titans, even the most dangerous of opponents. Doesn't matter what classes you might be able to throw out. It looks as though Saltmine, on paper, they've got the answer. It's just a matter of can they translate their writing into words, so to speak, or into actions is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, a lot of mishaps here and there, and a lot of accidentals. if anything, the biggest things I don't want to happen are these oops moments, like, oh, I came in the wrong spec, or oh, I forgot to ready up, or like I tagged in and I forgot to do it. Like, that's the worst feeling. And right now, especially again, the fresh meat, the unexpected, you don't want that to happen. Going over the bracket, we have pretty much our top seeds at the moment, Bold and Brash and Legacy, not losing a single match, although a few rounds here and there, and move down to losers bracket. They still have a chance. It's going to be Karma. It's going to be Rampage. It's going to be Bags. And after this, we determine our 6th and final player playing tomorrow from the losers bracket.
Can I just get a one prayer for Bags, who have only played the one game today due to whose mans is this not actually show. I feel like you need to say whose mans is this, kind of like Big Shaq, just to get the the full value of it. Like, whose mans this? Nobody's, because they didn't turn up. That's what happened. So now, poor old Bags, they've only been able to play. They've only been able to play one game. They're in the losers bracket, and they have to wait until tomorrow. They're going to be so rusty. I mean, not skill level, but just game sense. I mean, you always want to be playing as much as you can to season yourself. And even if you train as much, it's nothing like the simulations. It's nothing like the scrims. You need game time. So Bags, I can guarantee you between now and tomorrow, they'll be just procking spars left, right, and center.
Yeah, and then we have right here our last match, the game point of the evening. Cheeseless versus Salt Mine. Altair versus Excalibur. Let's go, KFM Blade Dancer matchup.
Cheeseless 1, Salt Mine 1. The winner of this one will be advancing through the losers bracket. The loser goes home, tasting the cup of bitter defeat. Excalibur on the receiving end of some damage to start things off. It's Altair who forfeited the last set, and he wants to make a statement. He wants his presence to be known. Runs away, tries to create some distance. The tether blade goes out. The launch doesn't quite catch. And Excalibur now will try his best to launch, but in comes the iron plating. Well done, Genie.
Yeah, perfect. We're trying to get that blue buff free damage, just quite missing his timing. And there's that Firestorm kick onto Excalibur, the instant escape, and lightning draw onto Altair. And now we're at an issue where Excalibur has no escapes. He has no one to tag in there. And this big combo damage from Cape Baldy right there. Now we have Genie onto the Sin right now, and that was really fast work. Poor Salt Mine used their defensive and offensive skills too early, and now Perfect Warrior's turn to kind of take it up. But against this Destroyer Sin matchup, it's going to be pretty bad. No flower right here, and he actually pops the escape off of Genie with the knockdown. This could be his chance to really turn it around, but gets caught in the stun after the lightning strike, and this could be a Genie actually not quite comboing right there. Not sure what happened, and now we have a launch onto Perfect Warrior. And we're just kind of moving back and forth. Perfect Warrior's in a pretty bad situation. His escape is up now, and now it's Genie's turn.
Perfect Warrior is just throwing out bombards, trying to catch Genie out with some PvE damage, making the distance between himself and the wall ever so greater. That's probably smart when you're going up against a Destroyer, and now the distance, just trying to recoup some of those cooldowns, is Perfect Warrior now needs to get out of the Ember Stomp. In comes the assist from from Altair, trying to land the Rising Dragon. Doesn't actually land. Yes, Yatagami again on the Warlock. This time comes in. Tried a couple of those cheeky launches that we saw before, but now it's Cape Baldy on this Blade Master. No gunner action just as yet. And oof, just spinning through the air there. In comes the Assassin to try and provide some much needed damage. But at this point, Cheeseless can just play the slow game.
Yeah, we see Cape Baldy just kind of, playing very well. This isn't a very favorable setup. And we see that knockdown into the Flicker actually catching him. And now the Void Walk was used by the Warlock. The Wallbang was trying to attempted by Genie, and it didn't quite get it through. And now Perfect Warrior is turned to send Cape Baldy into the air.
Perfect Warrior now comes in, and while he manages to get a web off, he's also on the receiving end of some damage. It's still a 3v2 situation. Salt Mine at the disadvantage. Cheeseless coming in there for the wake up, and Baldy, realizing that he probably did something he might have shouldn't have done there, sends in Genie and waits for those cooldowns to come back up. Pulls out the water bowl and just starts chugging on the bench. Now, Genie against Perfect Warrior. Destroyer versus Assassin. Still trying to land those stars. will actually get one, so a little bit of dot damage, but that will just buy the time for Genie just to sit under the stone shield and just recoup some of that HP. Now, spin to win is the name of the game here. Perfect Warrior just creating distance, though. As long as the Assassin can stay away from the Destroyer, there's not going to be much that the Destroyer can do. Now, red buff proc bear from Genie, trying to land it up. Is this going to be the wallbang? Yes, it is! The bombard goes across, but just in the nick of time, the stealth to get Perfect Warrior out of a very bad situation.
And now we see it's Yatagami on the back wall right here. He has only one get out card and Perfect Warrior one save for himself. And we're going to send Altair here. Tries to get the cheap tab leap right there, but the iframe kind of protects him. And now he's using the Thrall to get the iframes from the counter, and the Searing Palm stacks on top of it. And now we're going to see that kind of neutral play that's very good on KFM side, kind of just forcing him unable to really do much. There's the Iron Shoulder. Ult is charged up, and this could be very bad if the Warlock doesn't watch his cooldown. There's a time distortion right here. And speaking of cooldowns, they're non-existent with this Warlock right here. It seems he missed his leech, so this could be really bad for Yatagami as he's from the back foot. So KFM getting launched into the air. Is this the big damage that Saltmine was looking for? Fortunately, the damage didn't go through. Quality protective, and here's that ult, and it finishes Yatagami right here. Poor Warlock didn't have much left to do.
Ooh, poor Salt Mine. They are in the depths of despair at the moment. It's not just a salt mine, it's a concentration camp. Cheeseless with 20% has 20% HP on Altair, just does not care how much is left. He's got tag-ins for days, and will send back in Cape Baldy. Yatagami actually survived that, still has a bee's stinger of HP just available. Now, Flock of Blades being used by Cape Baldy, trying to round this game out. Searing Slash is out, will pull Perfect Warrior out of the stealth here, so smart. No Lotus in the build here for our assassin friend either, and with no escapes, just needs to be very, very careful because Cape Baldy is just swinging. His eyes are closed, and he is just cutting up air right now, trying to catch Perfect Warrior out of the stealth. Meanwhile, Perfect himself throws out the bombard into the lightning rod. Cape Baldy, though, just needs one opening. Just one opening. In comes Genie with the Destroyer, tries to land and execute. There was nobody around. Perfect Warrior is just delaying the inevitable here, gets off the mist, and that is some much-needed recuperation, Hank.
Yeah, it's just healed like about 10%, and that could mean a lot in the end. The KFM's turn, and now we see that actually Cheeseless has no tag outs, no tag ins. They're in the same situation as Saltmine, but Saltmine kind of, that HP deficit. Let's see if they can turn it around. Perfect Warrior not in the correct spec and just gets killed by the air launch. Yatagami using his Bastion immediately. Summons the Thrall, doesn't want to give the KFM free iframes. The escape gets used, and you threw the leech into the tab escape, actually. This could be bad for them. He needs to be able to land this combo, and the Ice Sheath will protect the KFM from any more damage. Here's the tech chase, and we can see Altair taking over there. The launch wasn't used, though. You were getting too conservative, Yato, and now the finish with the air grapple.
Style points to round that one out. It was the launch up, and then yeet! See you later. Comes down, getting the kill. Big, big plays. Cheeseless. They keep themselves alive. They take the win, and, well, 3-1. Saltmine picking up the victory because Altair forfeited a round. So that could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse, but in the end, you have to tip your hat to Cheeseless. The way that they played that 3v3 was great. They will now go through, as you see at the bottom of your screen there, up against Bagged Bags tomorrow. So as you can see on screen here, this is what tomorrow's gameplay is going to look like. In the top bracket, the playoffs, the winner of this first game will qualify. Bold and Brash versus Team Legacy. I'm backing Legacy here, but you can't take anything away from Bold and Brash. They've done it rough, they've done it tough, but they're there and they're playing to qualify for LAN. I'm so excited to see that game. Then down in the losers bracket, you've got Karma versus Rampage. Keep your eye on that one. Karma, I think they're the surprise packet here. Expect them to go all the way. Then we're going over to Cheeseless and Bagged Bags, but Bagged Bags, they are not going out without a fight. They've got some big names in there, and I'll be bitterly disappointed if they don't beat Cheeseless tomorrow. But hey, Cheeseless, the way they played against Saltmine, it was good, Hank. For a rookie team, we'll dub them the rookie team, the new blood, they actually turned up today.
Yeah, especially keep your eyes out. Again, not too many of these preliminary returners. We see actually about half of the people. We have 6 teams. About half of them are actually not from preliminary 1. It's going to be an exciting game for tomorrow. Don't forget, we have all of this for a chance to qualify. The top 2 of this bracket gets to go as the top 2 of our preliminary 1 for that first place, $21,500, $15,000 for second, 8.5 for third, and that $5,000 for fourth, just to show up. And of course, the big prize money at the top with the chance to qualify for or to represent North America at World Championships.
That's it. A win tomorrow will net you qualification at LAN. A win at LAN will net you the title of North American representative. But that's it for day number 1 of the second preliminary qualifier here for the North America region. Thank you so much for tuning out. Remember, tomorrow there is day 2, not only for the North America region, but also for the European region as well. Barney and Bruin's doing a fantastic job of delivering that action. So if you want to get up nice and early, make sure you get over there and that you check out on all the action. And then, of course, there is day 2 where the big boys will duke it out in day 2 of the North American qualifier. So make sure that you join us here again on Blade and Soul Twitch channel to get around that. So thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kickbox. On behalf of my co-caster Hank, we just want to give out a big shout out and lots of love to everybody who turned out today, as well as all the admins, everybody at NCSoft, the guys over at Legion Esports who do a great job of collecting footage. And if you like what you see, make sure you get on over to the Blade and Soul Twitter. Make sure you click that follow button, as well as this Twitch channel. Click follow up there as well for all the notifications for when we will go live. If you like what you see and want some VODs, there's always the Blade and Soul YouTube channel as well. And don't forget, for all the esports news, head over to esports.bladeandsoul.com. So we'll see you here tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. At BNS Esports on Twitter is what you need to follow. The little heart up in the top right there is what you need to click on Twitch. We'll see you here tomorrow for the finals.